a bit before the opening set. I took the bet, I know the rest is good, I guess. The cavern is a crowd around and I can scarce get by on second breaths between the breaths. Now it's 1 a.m. and I don't know how I'll get home. The way is barely paved. I can't keep my eyes from closing in between each rest, but I'm not going to cave. I guess I made it, yeah. I said that I'll come along this time, but when I try, I get the feeling I someday will die, and I'm not going to care. I never sleep, I never eat, I never leave my house alone. Another evening in between what I believe and what I know and what I know. I'm sitting on the 501 moment's rest, a glacial pace, I won't lose faith. Maybe if I stay around the rest to prove myself and still save face. Now we're on our way before I quit at 9:30. Can't get out of this, no, I've lost that little time. I guess I'll make it, yeah. I said that I'll come along this time, but when I try, I get the feeling I someday will die, and I'm not going to care. I never sleep, I never eat, I never leave my house alone. Another evening in between what I believe and what I know. I never sleep, I never eat, I never leave my house alone. Another evening in between what I believe and what I know and what I know. So I walked out the back before the second set settled my debt. I'll miss the rest, that's fine, I guess. The cavern is a crowd around and I could scarce get by on second breath between the press. Now it's 3 a.m. and I don't know how I'll get home. The way is barely paved. I can't keep my eyes from closing, so I'll hit replay. Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you'd wake up one day. Run to me, confess your love. At least just let me say that when I talk to you, won't you bed walks right through and shoots right out through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. What's a girl to do? Lying on my bed staring into the blue. Unrequited, terrifying. Love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest. I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, won't you better try through and shoot right out through my heart. from the start.
？How are you? Probably fine.
What is that motion? What is this motion? Will we get a Discord server?
It's so cool.
Thank you for the follow, sissy.
Step 4.
A little yoink and twist.
Oh my god!
That's the horny bell, the horny gong. Sex, 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 sex.
I mean, I want to join. Hey guys! What is up with it? Dude, I feel like I've been gone for so long. I grew attached to streaming just endlessly. It was such an experience being live for 30 hours. I know I kind of like did do it last year, but holy shit. If you were, I still have the reverb on. Oh my god. Dude, there's no way. So I actually, when I was looking back at the VOD, I was like, oh my god, I never turned off the karaoke voice. I'm so stupid. Now, I mean, I understand why I forgot, because if you saw me during the last hour or so of the 30-hour live stream, it got, we'll just leave that interesting. So if you did miss the last hour, I did do karaoke. It was drunk karaoke, and it got, it like genuinely got unhinged. Like, you know, there's like YouTube titles where it's like, I did karaoke for 24 hours straight, went wrong, gone horribly wrong. Like it's like literally though, like it was actually like insane. So yeah, I'm not saying it was bad. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm just saying that like genuinely, if you do go watch it blind, you'll be like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. So yeah, feel free if you'd like to. The VOD is still up on Twitch. Unfortunately, it is not up on YouTube because when I was doing karaoke, I got copyright striked on YouTube. This is why pretty much all React streamers don't stream on YouTube as well. They only stream on Twitch, react to stuff, and then upload it to their YouTube later. So I'm just saying, I kind of take the bullet for you guys a little bit, okay? I'm in a rough situation now. And because of that, it does make the reaction side of my content a bit stifled because now I have to be very careful about what I react to. So yeah, like if I don't know if like a creator is like cool with me watching it, I just can't watch it. Like I have to be extremely confident about that. And it's hard to know these things because you can see like 10 reactions of that video on YouTube and you'll be like, oh, it's fine. But it's actually not fine if you live stream yourself reacting to it. That's different. I don't know if it's like some kind of like robot reaction through YouTube's part, or if it is because like the creator themselves says it can't be a thing on live stream, or if that's like a thing. I have no idea. I don't know. But yeah, you gotta be like a little bit more smart with it now. So we gotta be smart. Now, luckily, I have things in the tank that I do want to watch that I know are good. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. In fact, I don't think I necessarily scared anyone with the title today, but I did see a video pop up on my recommended literally last night that said the current state of VTubing, and I was like, shit, dude, I think that's a guy. I think I've seen this guy's channel before. I think I've watched like multiple of his videos before. I kind of want to just watch it and see what it is. I feel like it's like the new talk of the town right now, right? I feel like all the YouTubers are gonna watch it, or the VTubers, I mean, and they're gonna have like a hot take about it. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. After that, we'll probably do FNAF React, and then we'll kind of see where we are from there. So that's kind of the idea. The rabbit guy, I think his name's like Depressed Nosaki or something. That might be exactly what his name is. If so, honestly, I commend myself for remembering that. Also, Zam, by the way, thank you for the follow. I'm trying to see what your profile picture is, but I cannot tell. It looks cool, though. Also, General Goon, thank you for the resub. Hasu, thank you for the resub. And Star Pilot, thank you for the resub. Also, Dogo, thank you for the 5 bits as well. It's an enemy robot master doing DMCA takedowns. I feel like it is like a YouTube thing. I don't think it's a creator thing normally. Because like I said, there will be like so many YouTube videos reacting to it, but then if you do a live stream of it, then it gets taken down. One example was when I reacted to oh my god, what was it? It was I want to say Space Pilot, and that's definitely not what it's called. It's in reference to like Warhammer or something. It might not even be Warhammer. I don't know. It has like that is what it's called. Or no, you just know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Anyway, I was watching the first episode of that, and like my whole YouTube stream went down. But there's like literally 50 different reactions of it on YouTube. Same thing happened with oh my god, I want to say ASDF, but that's not what it is. It's the cartoon animated thing, and like there's one where like Pinocchio gets like his ass drilled. I'm sorry, that's just the part that I remember. What is that guy called? But my video also got immediately taken down from that, and again, there's like literally 50 reactions of it on YouTube. So like also Google, what's that Google series that made by like College Humor forever ago, where it's like, you know, they go and they talk to Google and Google's a guy. If Google was a guy, video also got taken down. There's like 100 reactions of that, probably even 300 because the video is old, to be honest. So like you don't know, and I'm assuming that's like a YouTube thing versus like the creator like checked something off that says like, hey, don't let people live stream it. I don't know though. So point is, it's genuinely extremely risky. I'm not playing this up. So we do just gotta be safe, which means we're gonna react to Bones forever for the next 90 days. We're just watching FNAF. Just kidding. We're literally starting with VTubing shit. In fact, it probably does mean we're gonna watch some more VTuber highlight videos. I used to watch them a ton back in the day, and I'm getting a real big itch. Like, like the way my eyes are like all twitchy. They're fucking itching, bro. They're itching. I was like, dude, I haven't like seen Fuomoko content in so long. It's like, I want to see some Fuomoko, bro. Like, I need it. So yeah. We'll have more Bones. We're gonna have VTuber highlight videos for sure. And we're gonna see what else I can come up with. But those I know are safe, 100%. Yeah. Also Gage and Joku, thank you for the follows, guys. Welcome. I hope you do enjoy the stream today. Welcome. Feel free to join the Discord server if you'd like as well. What about gaming? We're gaming. I mean, gaming is not impacted at all, obviously. Oh, also, by the way, I literally have it opened up on my phone still, so I remembered to bring it up because I wanted to see if anyone knew about this yet, because apparently the announcement like just dropped. Did you guys see that Persona is getting a live action TV series made by Netflix? Did you guys hear about that? You guys hear about that shit? Yeah, I know, it's a little spooky, man. It's a little spooky, but I'm almost positive it's like 100% confirmed, like that is happening. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's gonna be Persona 5, and obviously we're hoping that it's like One Piece. That would be cool. Is that what we're gonna get? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know, right? I mean, I like to remain optimistic. And while I would rather just a Persona anime, like, that's kind of the thing that's, like, kind of annoying me, is, like, I don't really feel like playing 150 hours of Persona 5. I would rather just, like, a 12-episode anime or, like, a 24-episode anime. Can you just, like, give me that? I would actually love that. That'd be great. I think there's an anime based off of Persona 3, right? It's like some OVAs or something. There's a 4 and a 5 anime. No, but like not really though. Like it's not like it's not real. Persona 5 anime. There's no way. Persona 5 animation. Ew! Oh my god, what? There is? It's a 26 episode series and it aired in 2018 and it has a 6.4 on Mal. Ew, dude, what? Dude, no wonder I didn't know about it. That's so bad. That's actually like a disgusting rating. It's terrible. 6.4 is like pretty much as low as it gets. Like for an anime to get a 5 on Mal, it's genuinely like it could potentially come up in conversation for worst anime ever made. So a low 6 is really horrible. Also, hi comps, thanks for the 145 bits. I've been watching your Kigurumi a lot lately and your masks are very adorable. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be wearing my VTuber mask this upcoming Saturday again as well, of course. I've been just thinking about content overall. Maybe I'm gonna start doing some like Kigurumi highlight videos again, like I used to do on my YouTube channel. I feel like I should like start getting back to making those. I feel like I need to like get some editors in the ring again or something. So I don't know. Got to figure out that. Listen. I have high aspirations. Again, I feel like I got to get back on the grind, so I really got to figure out how to get a 3D model. Again, we're gonna figure out how to commission that. Already been kind of like looking around, peering around today. Got to commission that body pillow. Got to get some new art, just in general. We're gonna be grinding for sure. We're gonna be grinding for sure. So yeah. The what body? The body pillow. The Dakimakura. How was your day? Good. It was good. First day back at work, which was like a little cringe, but like low-key, I kind of did nothing and got away with it, so that was pretty cool. I've had my same office chair for so many years, and it's like falling apart because it was never like high quality in the first place. And we had one coworker that ended up leaving not too long ago, so we have just an empty chair that's like really new because we got a new chair for her. So I went to go steal it, and I was using it for a while. And it was not comfy. It was like hurting my back. I don't know if like I just like couldn't, I don't know if I should have just kept using it and then it was gonna like adjust and my body was gonna be cool with it. But dude, I don't know, dude. I just couldn't. I like wiped it all down, made it look all pristine, and then it just hurt my back and I returned it. So now I'm back to my crappy chair again. But at least it doesn't hurt my back. So also thank you for the $2 in manual. I love Persona games so much. At some point I gotta play a Persona game. Like here's the thing, like I wish I could do more really long streams because I would love to just like play literally a quarter of Persona in one stream, like be able to just like binge it in a stream. There's multiple games like that for me where I'm like, dude, I wish I could just like I would play it if I could just like kind of one shot it per se. Start with 1, not 5. Dude, that is not happening. I'm sorry. Maybe on my off time. How long is Persona 1, actually? Because maybe I could play Persona 1 on my off time. I couldn't see myself streaming Persona 1, though. 200 to not like the series. Is Green still nervous? What does that mean? Who's Green? Speaking of one shot, are you finishing Getting Over tonight? Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how long my videos end up dragging out to. It might get, like, more extended to Wednesday. I gotta see. But anyway. We'll yap for a bit. That game of CS you don't remember. Green. Green in Counter-Strike? What are you talking about? All I remember is that one guy that like would not stop complaining, dude. He just would not stop complaining. I literally, I remember exactly how many kills I had. I had 26 kills and like 12 deaths. And then the guy said in the microphone, I guess you guys just don't want it enough. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I guess you just don't want it enough. As he literally has 5 kills. Oh my God, dude. And, and I've been awake for 36 hours. Okay. Yeah, sure. Guys, we just need to lock in. We just need to lock in. We just need to lock in. How about we lock in now? How about we lock in? I'm gonna lock in now. Chat, I think we just need to lock in. Like, I thought I said that a lot, dude. I think I have lessened the amount of times I say lock in, which is good. I'm proud of myself. I'm trying to, again, not curse as much as a VTuber, but I just, like, I love yapping really fast and, like, just saying, like, I just love to fill every single second of empty space with words. And because of that, I often have to, like, pull out random things that just my brain says first, and that's usually, like, 3 things. It's usually, like, fuck, oh my god, Jesus Christ. It's just like, I need to just, like, give it a second. Just, like, chill and then come up with a better thing to say. Please, girl, please. I do it as a Kigurumi because I'm afraid of, like, the voice changer getting tripped up and stuff, so I never curse. I never curse as a Kigurumi. My thoughts and words are so nuanced when I'm a Kigurumi, man. I'm truly a different person. Yeah, it's not fair, dude. It's not fair, dude. Why can't I be a VTuber that, like, doesn't talk? Dang, dude. That would be really easy. But I talk all the time. I always talk. Like, if I don't talk for a couple of seconds, I feel like you guys are gonna be like, did Ichan die? I remember during, like, my 3rd ever Kigurumi stream where I was not laying down, like, my 3rd ever Kigurumi stream when, like, I had it, like, set up in my whole room. I was, like, sitting there and talking and yapping, and I think it was, like, my 2nd Luis stream or something, and then Follow Kig goes, you haven't said anything in about 5 seconds. Did you just have nothing to say anymore? And I was like, bro, it shows that this shit really hit because I still remember the comment. I'm like, bro, no. I will genuinely talk forever. Oh, I know you don't remember it because it was a passing comment, but you're like, you haven't said anything in, like, 10 seconds. Do you just have no more to say? Bitch, I always have shit to say. Just, like, let my brain simmer for 5 seconds, no? But I'm not allotted that. You know what I mean? Like, people put themselves in a hole, right? You create a persona for yourself, and then things are expected out of you, right? Like, the most common thing is, like, you know, when VTubers get a little bit too lewd, and then they, like, you know, they start making the OnlyFans and the lewd posts and the booby pics on Twitter all the time. And then it's like, they can't just stop, right? They can't, because now that's what they're known for. And the only way that they get, like, true interaction and engagement, like, the highest numbers possible, they, like, gotta do that stuff. If they don't, they just, the audience doesn't care because that's what they're known to be now. So I can't stop talking. I'm known to talk a lot. Also, Spaceboy, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you. I can't stop milking. I actually can't stop milking. Speaking of, where are the gift subs? I'm confused. We've been live for 24 minutes, and it's my first stream back after the subathon. Like, I would think that you guys would be, like, more excited to see me, and you would, like, want to, like, give me money or something. No? I already got too much money. I've already milked too much. I don't like that perspective, chat. I'm just saying I don't like that perspective. I think that's a skewed perspective. I think you're convincing yourself of wrong things. You're a part of this wrong hive mind here. You really got to come to my side. There's no such thing as no milk, okay? Your body is constantly producing it, okay? So figure it out. Find it in yourself. It might be harder, but it's there somewhere. You're very funny, but no money at the moment. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you. I'll take that. Listen, I like what you're doing here, but I'm not giving you money. Listen. This is good and all, but you're not getting any money from me. They're back. Don't worry about it. Ooh, Shank. You're learning. You figured it out. Thank you. I appreciate the gift sub. Thank you. Also, hello, Gabe. Welcome. And welcome to anyone that is, you know, currently joining right now. They're gone again. Chips, thank you for the 100 bits. Elon Musk has all the money we could give. How do we, like, get that? How do we get it, though? Dude, I heard... So, I mean, I'm sure there's, like, particulars when it comes to this, right? But I saw this, like, one Reddit post when, like, the SpaceX stock, like, just, like, released to the public or whatever. And it was a guy, he made a post, he was like, whoa, it's crazy that, like, I had no money, and now I have a free $1 million because I worked I worked for Elon or whatever. Like, apparently, like, I don't know, like, who qualifies for getting, like, entry stock or whatever, if, like, you work there, but the guy was like, yeah, dude, like, I left, like, 5 years ago, but, like, because I worked there, like, 2 years, like, 10 years ago, I got, like 100, like, stocks of it or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? How is, it's in your contract? Does everyone get it, though? I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Like, damn it, what were we doing wrong? We literally actually could have stole his money. Like, if we all worked there and then all just sold the stock and just crashed it, we, like, actually took his money, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, we actually took his fucking money. Oh my god, Golden Capitrain. Oh, chat. Chat, find the milk within yourself, please. Find the milk. Do you see what Twitch is trying to say? What is that? Oh, Ranger. Okay, just send me a DM on Discord. I will get you that exclusive picture, of course. Thank you, Lone. I appreciate it. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub. Chips, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you for the gift sub. I appreciate you. Thank you. So if you just give 1,000 bits, you will get added into the hype train, and that will give you a golden kappa emote that you can use for the next 24 hours. So, if that's something you care about, feel free. Again, if you just want to drop 100 bits or resub or whatever, it's cool. I'm not actually trying to do a dastardly milking session out here. You don't gotta do a 5 gifted, but if you do just want to hop onto the train to get that, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to get it. These are like actually quite rare. Oh, Lone, good to see you. How was MIP's stream, Lone? Did you enjoy yourself over there? Did you enjoy yourself? Why is she an onion? That's not what I look like, dude. And if it was, I would be the cutest onion of all time. So, like, I don't care. I should do a 5 gifted? I used to be the biggest gift subber on my entire channel for a while. Like, if you scroll down on the gift sub leaderboard, I have like 190 gift subs or something like that. Because I was just gifting subs out of the wazoo because I was just like so grateful for people watching, so I was just making sure everyone was subbed. So I did do that for a while. Yeah, dude, reinvesting. I was milking myself. I was pretty much just breaking even. Like, someone would subscribe and then I would subscribe, which then like just cancels out the money. What about now? There's too many people. There's too many mouths to feed. Okay, there's too many mouths to feed. Apparently with a mythic train, you can get a golden pogger. Oh my god, or the cool cat. That's actually my favorite global Twitch emote, by the way. I use the cool cat all the time in streamers' chats. Especially if they don't have good 7TV emotes. If they don't have 7T or like or kind of like mid-tier ones, dude, I'm using cool cat literally all the time. Oh my god, she literally looks like an onion though. Yeah, but, like, I don't, though. That's, like, the thing, though. You know what I mean? Though, like, though, like, though you think you're, like, funny and, like, you think you're onto something, though, like, you're actually not, though, so, you know, though. I need to get a moderator that fucking loves 7TV and also watches, like, big streamers, so they can just fucking, like, IV drip all of the good 7TV emotes into my channel all the time, so it stays up to date with, like, the current memes and shit. Does that sound like anyone in the chat? I would genuinely mod you just for that purpose. I'm not even kidding. 3D model when? I'm working on it. I literally am working on it. That's not a lie. I'm learning that most people that do commissions for 3D models have closed commissions. That's what I'm currently learning, and it's really annoying me. I DM'd like 5 different 3D model artists, and I was like, yo, my god, yo, I love your shit so much. Yo, not trying to be like a bother, but like, I scrubbed your entire social media, and it doesn't say like when your commissions will open back up. I'm not saying that you would know really exactly, but like, do you have any kind of estimate? Because like, I'm just saying that if you allowed me to commission you, I would really appreciate. I would definitely do it. I'm extremely interested. So like, just let me know if like you kind of know when it might open. No responses yet, but I'm trying. Chat. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to get that commission. So yeah. Yeah, I really do want to get a 3D model. I think it would be really cool to do a debut with it for sure. I'll try to like actually make it like special too. I'll try and like bait it up a little bit, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta do that like for real though. So yeah, 3D model, the Dakimakura, more content in general. We're gonna be doing good stuff. We're gonna be doing good stuff for sure. Like I said, I'm ready to lock in. I'm ready to lock in. Speaking of locking in, we'll probably pivot over to a little video time. Yeah, no, we're still doing Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke is coming. Don't worry about it. And then we also still want to do Minecraft speedrun as well. Definitely want to do that too. So we will get there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how freaky is the Daki gonna be? See, I have a hard limit. Because I'm not a lewd tuber, you bitch. So, I feel like the lewdest it could go... It gets, like, +1 point, because you guys hit it for a sub goal, though, right? So, like, I feel like... it gets +1. Like, if I just released a Daki, just out of the blue, maybe the cap is, like... You know, like a 5 out of 10. But now that we hit it for a sub goal, you know, maybe it'll be like a 6, 6.5 or something. Gotta think about it, man. I gotta think about it. I don't know. I did reach out to my agent. We'll see what he says. We'll see what his opinion says. So yeah, we're working on it. We are absolutely working on it, okay? We are working on it. Don't think that we're not. You probably won't see new drops come, you know, you won't see these things happen for a while, but all of a sudden, you know, 6 months to a year from now, some things will happen, and then you'll be like, oh my god, this is awesome. So, we're working on it. We're working on it. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. All right. So with that being said, let me do a little pivot, all right? I feel like we're making kind of good time here. Don't worry, this will be a good one to talk over, I think. So, oh, dude, I'm blocking, like, the entire title. So I did remember to put myself over on the left-hand side because it's a VTuber video, and when it's a VTuber video, most VTubers put themselves at the bottom right corner. So I always go on the left for VTuber videos. That way I don't block the VTubers on the video as much. Also, we got gay Jacks up here. Or sorry, trans Jacks. Dude, people are going crazy with the amazing digital circus theories. I love it, though. I love it. Oh, hey, I'm a Sharku. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hope life is going well. Hope you're still enjoying the Beetleverse as much as I still am. I'm gonna be reacting to at least one Neuro video on Wednesday for sure. Always keeping Neuro videos stocked up in the tank. I feel like I've always been at least like watching some Neuro stuff every month. But yeah, you're one of the OG reactors to Neuro. I know you. I know who you are, girl. I know. I know. I know. So yeah, I hope life has been going well for you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. A new Bones video? Okay, indeed. So Gabe, we might do the absolute state of VTubing and then watch Bones' new video because the Bones' new video actually is quite interesting to me. It's playing FNAF, like the original couple of games on like 100 times speed. So I'm curious to see how his meta builds to do that. But anyway. But we'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. The tabs are fine. Don't worry about the tabs. See, I'm stockpiling because, like I said, so I want to react to VTuber stuff. So like VTuber video, 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 VTuber video. Not VTuber video. Oh my god. So anyway, I mean VTuber video, VTuber video, VTuber video. So I'm stocked up, okay? I'm stocked up for Wednesday, all right? We got, dude, I'm telling you, don't worry. I got the bases covered. Here is the issue, guys. Okay, I know how I said that I've fallen off somewhat, so I'm trying to grow again. But actually, the secret answer is I'm suffering from too much success. Because here's the thing. I have done great in the side of Kigurumi. I have done great in the side of FNAF. I have done great in the side of like VTuber content adjacent stuff. I have done great in what's the other thing? I already forget. Bro, I'm already blanking. Anyway, point is that now whenever I do one thing, like a third of my audience is like, fuck yeah. And then the other 2/3 are like, but I want the other thing that I also love you for. And I'm like, motherfucker. I need to somehow just make you guys all love me 10 times more. So you just put up with literally anything. Or I have to just do one thing for the rest of my life. And I definitely don't want to choose that option. So yeah, that is genuinely an issue. But I think that will just be an issue for the rest of my life. And that is technically an issue for all content creators to some degree. But yeah. My shit is kind of fucked though. Because a lot of YouTubers and streamers, they do like one thing and they're really good at it, and then they try and do something else and everyone's like, not really about it. But then they can just go back to the other thing. See, for me, I don't even have a bread and butter that I can go back to because I'm so like equally split up into like 4 different parts. Everyone's got like a 25 split. I don't know. Anyway, that's why we're keeping everyone happy, all right? We're doing everything. Don't worry about it. We're doing fucking everything. So sit down, shut up, and just like it, okay? Just like it. How about that one? This is like, listen, this video, we're gonna see what it's about. Potentially, this could be a little bit of like a doomer posting, drama slop stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's called the absolute state of VTubing. So I assume it's going to be like, oh my god, dude, everyone's on Twitter. They're all rage baiting. VTubing used to be cool, and now it's oversaturated, and everyone hates VTubers, and they're gay. Why are they all gay? We'll see. Okay, I don't know, but like I wanna see it. I mean, it's called the absolute state of VTubing. I need to see it. So, yeah, let's see what's going on because dude, I tell you what, VTubing has changed a lot. The community has changed. The types of VTubers have changed. The content created around them has changed a lot. The content that they're creating has changed a lot. Like everything about the entire space is so different. VTubing in the early stages to now is different. So I'm curious to see how this video is going to document all of that. So without further ado, let's give it a watch.
VTubing is ruined. What happened to VTubers? Why is VTubing so negative now? It's a sincere question that you might have asked, especially if you came into the industry back in its early establishment, and it's a question laced with negativity, usually. If you've been around since like 2020, 2019, you might have a fond memory of what it represented. It was a time when it was magical, it was fresh. Everything was glittering with inspiration and creativity. You felt emotions you've never felt before, a space to enjoy and escape from the real world that was
Hold on, I literally have the volume as loud as it can already be. So hold on, I gotta like, I have to boost like internals now, but I got it. All right, hopefully this should be good. We'll just start from the beginning. It's all good.
VTubing is ruined. What happened to VTubers? Why is VTubing so negative now? It's a sincere question that you might have asked, especially if you came into the industry back in its early establishment, and it's a question laced with negativity, usually. If you've been around since like 2020, 2019, you might have a fond memory of what it represented. It was a time when it was magical, it was fresh.
Oh my god,
Everything
the
was
butt plug.
glittering with
Oh my
inspiration
god.
and creativity. You felt emotions you've never felt before, a space to enjoy and escape from the real world that was breathing down your neck. But now? Well, it just seems like
Also, by the way, he just showed like all the VTubers that have retired, which is like really sad, honestly. Damn.
many places are on fire, and it's hard to ignore the screaming in the background, and it's usually the same cycle. First comes venting, then callouts, then vague posting, then politics, high school level drama, every single week.
Is this like actually true though? I know this didn't really exist in the past, but is this just because of like where we are? Like, is it because we're kind of searching out for it and we're just scrolling on Twitter and we see it all the time? We're subscribed to YouTubers that talk about it. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like you can choose not to be a part of it to quite a large extent, but it does happen. I'm not lying. I'm not denying that it does happen. I see it and I do try to avoid it.
It's gotten to a point that I'm getting tired of it. Me, a fucking slop-eating, slop-making retard. We have VTubers themselves reminiscing about the good times, pondering what happened. Somewhere in 2020 and 2026,
Amazing song in the background right now, by the way. Amazing game.
a poison was dropped in the well. Something that cascaded the industry into this messy dumpster fire that, despite its many ups and downs, many people still call home. So, what happened? But before we continue, may I interest you in other videos not meant for the peasants to see? In that case, I'd recommend you join my channel memberships or
Bro, he literally just advertised like 8 videos that he recently made that are exactly what he is saying is plaguing the industry. Bro, what the fuck?
my Patreon. We have monthly exclusive bangers.
Literally the most recent drama, which is Deme getting railed on stream. Okay, yeah, I did see it. Like, bro, people, I'm sorry. Normally I don't talk about this shit. Motherfuckers are so dumb. Do you not understand that when Deme in the beginning, like a year ago, said like, don't make lewd art of me. Oh my gosh, guys, it makes me so uncomfortable. It's a fucking bait to make people make lewd art. She never actually cared about it, bro. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. And now she's just eating up all these free views. You guys are so dumb. But I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? That's the meta. You fucking rage bait people, you get eyes on yourself, and then you grow. Holy shit. And then we make a little apology, everything's good, and we keep rolling. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
There, as well as uncensored versions of certain content, all ad-free. And besides, you help me keep creating bangers like these in the long term with your support. So if you have some spare change for a cup of coffee every month or something, consider giving it to me instead. Anyway, that's all. Thank you, and let's go back to the video. Let's make things clear first. Since 2020, where a lot of traditional fans became fans, the scene has always been plagued with a lot of negativity and drama and tribalistic behavior, especially from Hololive fans and Nijisanji fans. During those days, stuff happened, like Yozo Ramel harassed in the workspace, Mano Aloe's graduation exploding in Hololive's face, Capcom intentionally targeting Hololive for not getting proper permissions for their games, Hololive fans being skeptical of English, the Keryo Coco Taiwan incident, Hololive China being dissolved, and the political shenanigans that
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'll never get railed on stream. I would never break your trust like that. And it's totally not because of my morals. And, I mean, it's totally because of my morals, not because, I totally can't get laid in the first place. Don't worry about that.
came from that. Mori Calliope's Lane incident, Mori Calliope's Connor incident, Mori Calliope being baited by the trolls incident, Mori Calliope's Gura incident. There was a lot of Mori Calliope drama. Heck, even outside Hololive, we had the voice replacement incident of Kizuna Ai, the King
I still love I so much. And maybe it is because I kind of reminisce about the older days, but dude, I still listen to her Hello song so often. It makes me cry almost every time I listen to it. Also, oh my god, who is that VTuber on the hard right? Dude, I remember seeing her like everywhere. I remember she played the convenience store. That was like she was like a part of like that first highlight reel of like those like 13 VTubers that played it, and like there was a highlight video that like showed all of them screaming when the manager pops out of like the convenience store in the back room when he's hiding in like the freaking fridge or whatever. Anyway,
Zaka Mero versus Yuzuki Rua Civil War. Project Melody's VTuber model getting copyright struck by the modeler.
dude, shout outs to Project Melody. I remember when she was first coming up, dude, it was such an interesting time to see like everyone talking about her. Now she's just kind of in like her own little bubble and she like doesn't do anything. Like not as in like she doesn't make good content, but as in like, you know, she's not in the space anymore. She's not in the public eye. That's also very true for like Neanners. Like Neanners and Project Melody were like literally the talk of the town for multiple years, and now no one ever mentions their names ever, and they just sit in their own little hole with like their 1,000 viewers and they just love life.
I could name a lot more, but most of
Well, I hope they love life. I mean, it seems very chill.
the drama I'm gonna wager you haven't really heard of, especially the smaller ones. Or you might even think that it wasn't that big of a deal. But even despite all this negativity, there was a massive upside. People chose not to focus on the drama too much and the negativity, including myself. Because VTubing was so magical, it incited a lot of very deep and positive emotions. It inspired so much creativity and will that the fact that there were a lot of drama was almost brushed under the rug. In this once small bubble, the positivity overpowered the negativity, even while that negativity was happening during its peak. But as the magic of VTubing slowly disappeared, as the freshness faded and the industry expanded, that positive energy also went away.
I totally agree. I totally agree. When the magic fades and like the inherent pool kind of disappears, it's like you start like there's gonna be so many people that are like grasping at straws to like, you know, get the ball rolling, and like the first thing you do is like freaking do like drama and call out posts and stuff like that, right? I feel like that just makes sense.
The honeymoon period being over left fans roiling in the negativity that remains. But a few people might not see it that way, especially the newcomers. I hear a lot of opinions about why VTubing became the way that it is, whether or not they prefer it. VTubers focused so much on the streamer aspect rather than the character part. I interpreted this as a lot of newcomers focusing too much on the business rather than the fun, becoming overall a well-oiled machine rather than an entertainment.
Okay, so that is insane to say. He essentially just said, I mean, at least from his wording and the way he connected those two things, is that like if you're not playing a character, you're not having fun and you're focusing on the business side of things. Not true at all, dude. It's just like some people don't want to do that as a VTuber. Like VTubing started as you're playing a character, but then like as the medium grew, just like people got interested and indies could like start making their own content, and some of them didn't want to play a character that much. Doesn't mean they're focusing on business. It just means that like they're just a person that doesn't want to do that. Now you could argue like, damn, we should have gatekept better. I don't think that's true. I fucking hate gatekeeping a lot for virtually everything, but you know, anyway. Thank you for the $2, by the way. Skill, play Nikkei. Maybe I will. Dude, I have a Nikkei account that's like level 118 or something like that. 119, 123. I think that's like 124 or something like that. Because I remember, like, with Nikkei, you can put your highest level character in, like, this little, like, freaking cryo chamber, and then all of your other characters become that level as well. And I remember I'm seeing, like, flashbacks of, like, mid-120s.
And on the other end of the spectrum, we have tweets like this from Jocat, saying that VTubing is becoming better because everyone is slowly shedding the idol culture parts of the medium. So with
Dude, that means better! Dude, I don't know, dude. They're both, they can just both be great.
which is it? Is
I really commend people that play a character. Because I think in general, it does usually harbor more creativity in general. I think it causes you to lock in a bit more, try a bit harder, get more creative with like how to sell yourself as that type of character, right? Like actually, so this is not in any way like a call out, but I remember I saw like this one reaction video. It was like clown VTuber like watches like clown videos or something. And I watched a little bit of it and it was just a VTuber watching it. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't like have like a clown honker that they honked every time they laughed or like you know what I mean? Like if they played into being that actual character, it would inherently be more creative and fun. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they have to do that, but I don't know. I think shedding that is not necessarily a good thing. I think it's good as in people can do what they want, but dude, I really commend people that play a character, to be honest. As long as it's not like unhealthy. Because I know that like there has been a thing with like, you know, agencies making them play certain characters and then that is like unhealthy mentally. Obviously, I don't want that, but if it's like a fully voluntary thing, I think it's sick, actually.
VTubing becoming worse or getting better? Obviously, your answer will ultimately depend on factors like when you became interested in VTubing and entered the industry, and who your favorite creators are, and if you are a creator yourself, what kind of creator you wanna be. And as you can surmise from the title, I am leaning towards the former, especially because I am a traditional VTuber fan, who mostly watches VTubers that associate more with the JP adjacent culture rather than the
Dude, oh my god, yes. Dude, when I like listened to the whole Rusia video, I was like, this is crazy. You know what I did right after I watched the Rusia drama? I went to my favorite anime figure website that sells like all figures like pre-owned and like currently dropping, called Solaris Japan, and I searched up Rusia to see if her figure went like crazy up in price or crazy down. Unfortunately, it did not really change much. But I was just wondering if like the psycho people were gonna buy up the last few ones and the price would increase a lot, or if like literally they're just like, dude, I can't even get this off the shelf anymore. I don't know. I was curious.
English Twitch streamer culture. And from my thinking, I have created a model that encapsulates why VTubing has become the way that it is. I call it the 4Ds: difficulty, disillusionment, division, and drama.
Holy shit, dude, we're getting real. What is this? What?
I think this is the loop that made VTubing the way that it is, and wherever you might have started falling into the piece here, I've noticed that it always happens in this order. So let me break it down. As VTubing expanded, there became more viewers, more money to harvest, but also more competition. There became less things to try and innovate on. Back then, when there were few VTubers, innovation...
Dude, yeah, I know. Dude, this trend, like, dude, people lost their minds when the first few VTubers figured out they could just make a PNG of their feet up on a desk like this. I remember when this trend first started, and it was like, oh my god. This is, like, mind-blowing content creation. It's so funny. And yeah, in the very beginning, like when it's actually when like shorts and like stuff like that were kind of like first becoming a thing too, because it was maybe like, you know, 2018 2019 type beat. But yeah, like dude, you could be a VTuber and just be like, hi guys, like this is where, you know, I make my VTuber move its mouth. It's called VTube Studio. Look at this, blah 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 blah. Like literally you could just do the most basic things and get millions of views because people didn't know, and it was fresh and it was new and everything was exciting, and the limit there was such limited knowledge and there were only a few people that really knew it that could disperse it. Funnily enough, that is exactly how I got my start as a Kigurumi streamer. My videos that like really started to blow up were like informational videos on Kigurumi and how it works and stuff like that. And like to me, obviously it's very simple and easy things, but dude, people didn't know and they were really curious. So yeah.
And even unique character design elements and gimmicks were easier to do because the space was emptier. There were still lots of strats and undiscovered niches, but now a lot of niches has been filled. Standing out has become a lot more difficult. This bred a bit of desperation, a sense of defensiveness or insecurity for a VTuber's own content, design, and even fans. We saw a small glimpse of this behavior from multiple big VTubers when the Cinder incident happened. When VTubing became big, it started to get more difficult to create content that could retain your viewers while also attracting more. This might not be the case for a lot of the bigger already established creators, but it is the case for most of the creators that wanted to climb the ladder, and believe me, there was a lot. Without
Yeah.
the support of something like Hololive, how the hell were you supposed to grow your own brand? This was when a lot of new agencies popped up, led by people with mysterious background and probably almost zero business experience, and they promised you a little bit of what Hololive does, but without the glam and pre-established numbers. Some VTubers join these agencies, but normally, they are short-lived because a lot of them collapse in the most miserable yet spectacular way. It's a miracle if they just die.
Low key, I mean, sometimes you really do get the shit end of the stick, and of course you would rather the agency to continue. But a lot of agencies, yeah, they're ran by people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Hopefully, it's also combined with people that are passionate and do care, and they're not scummy. But like, yeah, it ends up collapsing, and you. If this is how the agency worked, you potentially got a free model and like free art and like all this free work done for you, and now the agency is collapsing and they have no reason to own your model and stuff anymore. So they're like, okay, you can have everything, just do what you want. So like low key, some people actually make out super good when this shit happens. Of course, you'd rather the agency continue, but I'm just saying, like sometimes it's like not even that bad.
Peacefully and, without drama. Whether these
Sometimes it's horrible though, and we have seen that quite often, but sometimes it's good.
incidents happen because the CEO was a sex pest, or the genmates were schizophrenic that it ruins the company from the inside, or, maybe just the simple but innocent CEO is not that good at business. Lots of things could go wrong behind the scenes, and it could
It's a complete mixed bag. Yeah, I don't want to say that what I'm saying is more likely to happen. I mean, it's hard. When agencies collapse, there's such a multitude of different things that can happen. Obviously, a pretty common one is like they might have owed you like some payments, and now you're not getting that money because at that point they're bankrupt, the company's closed, and now you don't get your last paycheck or your last 2 or 3 or last 6 months if they were like super under and they were just like stringing you along, being like, yeah, we'll get you that money, yeah, we'll get you that money. That shit happens a lot too, and then you get super screwed and you're out thousands of dollars potentially. So that's not good. Anyway.
genuinely affect how some of these VTubers see the industry. But let's say you're just an indie that didn't need an agency but needed a bit of help. Perhaps the aid of a third-party company or solo managers was the way to go. But then turns out, you end up being scammed or being sex-pested. Seems to be a common occurrence here for some reason. But when agencies and companies weren't enough, some people started to do interesting things. Without the support of an agency, the strat for a lot of VTubers was to be active on Twitter and engage with fans and nerd stuff before debuting themselves. At first,
What
this
was that post, dude? I saw panties hanging out. It was like a little skinny thong, dude. Chill.
success, with one of the more notable examples being Artemis of the Blue. But then some of these people started bitching and whining about the lack of success, instead of actually streaming and putting effort and researching what they want to do. These permanent debut TBA creators would be called V-tweeters, and I mention them because a lot of the negativity and drama that happens in the industry is on Twitter and is caused by V-tweeters.
I wouldn't like really necessarily like target that specific group per se. I'm like, it's not like if we didn't have that, then this shit wouldn't happen. It would just be done by people that are just regular people. Do you know what I mean? Like the V-tweeters are just people that are like, oh my gosh, like I can totally get a model and stream now and blah, blah, blah. And then like they do, because it's way easier to do that now. And then they try streaming for a little bit and then they're like, oh, I actually don't really like that much. Oh, this is way hard. Oh, I'm not getting viewers. And then they just sit on Twitter, like, they're using like their regular account again. So like their normie account, like before they had a VTuber persona. So like, I don't know. V-tweeters to me are just regular fucking people. Like it's not they're not even like content creators really in any sense. I mean, some of them are, but like that's not the group we're really talking about right now.
And tweets in general, regardless if they were V-tweeters or not. But some of them actually started grinding, and some would even implement a few less than ethical tactics. At first, it was relatively subtle, like copying design elements, sometimes intentionally to leech off of one of the popular ones.
This is weird. Like, so I have never done this, but dude, when you like copy the look of different VTubers or like get the same like what's it called, like rigger mama, or like freaking model mama or whatever. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, dude, Bao, you know, had this person make their model, so if I get it, then I'll get clout. It's actually true, and it does work, and I don't really like fully understand why it does, because I've never looked in this side of things. Like, I just don't care. I just want to do what I want to do, right? I'm just commissioning what I want to commission. But it's weird, dude. Like people chase after this because it genuinely works. Now, it doesn't work as much as you would hope it does. Like, if you're someone that is doing this to try and get clout and viewership, you're probably expecting way more than what you will get out of it ultimately. But it does work. Like, if you copy another popular VTuber and you debut based off of that, you might debut to like 60 viewers instead of like 20. You know what I mean? Fun Time Wild, thank you for the follow.
Sometimes unintentionally, not to leech, but because they found it to be a cool design gimmick, or because they looked up to the VTuber, or sometimes two different minds just come up with the same design or gimmick at the same time. But then it started to escalate. People started aggressively collabing with.
And, well, yes, it is something that fades quickly unless you're a really good content creator. I feel like that can kind of be said for almost anything, though. Like, even if you blow up with your own creativity, if, like, you end up just, like, stop being creative and, like, not post as much, or you get boring or, like, settled in your ways or whatever, people are going to leave anyway, too. At the end of the day, it's all about just, like, getting as many eyes on your content as possible and then just trying your best to convert those people, right? So what I'm saying is it almost doesn't matter why those eyes are watching you, which is very relevant to this video, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. I mean, yeah.
Other VTubers, not to foster friendships but to borrow their platform or organize their own network, having their fingers on a bit of everyone's pie. They would pretend to be fans or supportive, slowly worming their way to that creator's circle, pestering them, not really even considering them as friends, but more so jumping pads just so they can leech off of them a little bit. An entire discussion even appeared.
So this is the shit that I hate, though. Dude, I literally just want to make some VTuber friends, and it's so hard because I think some of the people that I reach out to, like, I think they think that I'm just trying to, like, fucking leech them or jump pad them or whatever. It's like, dude, I'm literally in your streams, like, every day chatting with you and, like, hanging out with your community, and, like, I literally just want to actually be your friend and collab. I don't understand. Like, I feel like people are so guarded about this that it's actually turning, like, toxic in a reverse way that's really bad. I don't get it. Like, and also, at the end of the day, like, if you think the person's vibes are fucking immaculate, and they also think your vibes are fucking immaculate, and you're making great content together, I hate to say it, but who gives a fuck if they are just using you at that point? Dude, I mean, you're making banger shit, and you love each other's presence, so, like, who even cares about the underlying intention? That's maybe a little bit more harder of a take to say, but, like, dude, honestly, like, right? Like, dude, if you're all having a good time, who even cares?
On Twitter about this, on whether or not collabing should purely be a business decision or something you should be able to do with just your friends. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it does speak to the intentions of many VTubers and how they appear on stream. Because to a fan, how do we tell who are real friends versus who are just collabing to social climb and rub shoulders with bigger content?
But see, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, if literally you are already collabing with this person and they're in your circle and you're all having a good time, why are you even being like, I wonder if they're just using me, Dude, just enjoy yourself. I don't understand. Why, like, just fucking enjoy yourself. It's strange. I don't know. I don't want to say this is, like, my biggest pet peeve or some shit of like, VTubers and, like, but, like, it is annoying for me currently because I'm really trying to, like, do collabs a lot more often. I want to make more friends, and I just find it so hard. I don't know why. But I'm trying, and I won't give up, so, you know. I'm very happy that I've made friends with Mip, and she seems really cool, and again, I really hope we can make more content together. Trying to make some more friends. We'll see how it goes.
Creators. It got to a point that even big creators started complaining about how used they feel when they became victims of this. But VTuber wannabes weren't the only parasites. There were also Twitch e-girls.
Last thing on that, I will say, if you were, like, a random VTuber that, you know, like, you know, how do I describe this? This is such a unique circumstance. This is not like everyone will find themselves in this situation. But like, let's say you're like a VTuber and like you get to know a lot of people, like, you know, you're on Twitter and like a lot of VTubers follow you and stuff like that, and you're averaging like 50 viewers or something like that. And then you kind of like fall off and now you're averaging like 10 viewers and like, you know, you're not really getting any collabs. No one's really hitting you back. And then all of a sudden you like have a super viral clip and you blow up and you have like 200 viewers now. Then everyone starts hitting you up for collabs. Okay, fair. I would be extremely hesitant to like respond back to these people because that feels extremely predatory. It's like, okay, well, the timing here is very strange. But for the most part, I feel like you can just like live and let live. Pal, thank you for the follow.
Even e-girls and Twitch streamers were using the VTuber tag on Twitch at one point to capitalize off of the rising trend.
That is fucked up. What the fuck, dude? You're not a VTuber.
Which gave way for a lot of these e-girls to try their hand on the medium, without really even understanding, appreciating, or participating in the culture. But if that wasn't enough, they'd repost memes, copy-paste and recycle engagement bait strats. And look, I respect it. I like reading through some of these trends and engagement baits myself, but some of them can get a little too weird for comfort. It could be vague posting about something, it could be a rage bait, it could be sympathy bait, or even virtue signaling. Sometimes they'd even join trends that are usually
I loved watching Depressed Nogasi's content until I saw this with his model. And then it's just like a picture, it's just a screen grab of like this. And then everyone's in the comments, they're like, what's wrong with his model? I don't see what changed. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Tell me. Dude, fucking those posts, I swear to God.
a guaranteed attention magnet like art raffles, or more notoriously, VTuber versus IRL, who started off innocent enough and still in line with the medium, but then they started to integrate actual flesh posting. And the moment this happened, it became a bit of a slippery slope. Because then a lot of indie VTubers started to not just stop on the VTuber versus IRL trend, but started to integrate their bodies and faces as part of their regular content. And I'm not talking about the occasional hand cam or walking streams, I'm talking about IRL. I say this mostly as observation than judgment, but there's a lot of VTubers whose regular content, whether that be on their streams or on their tweets, aren't really even of their characters anymore, but rather their bodies, and it eventually falls into a pipeline of doing OnlyFans or fanslay content that don't even use their VTuber models porn like what many authentic lewd VTubers do. And look,
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I just see that as like a subcategory of a VTuber. I don't know. But again, I'm also like against gatekeeping. Like, I feel like this is like a gatekeeper perspective to a degree. It's like, I don't know, like, if that's what they do, like, whatever. I wouldn't do it. I don't like it, but like, I don't see the need to like police that.
I know there's a lot of weird hate against fanslay using VTubers now, and if the VTuber uses their actual VTuber models or just art of themselves,
I mean, like, it's okay if they, like, make it OnlyFans and they use their VTuber model. I mean, that's fine. But, like, as soon as they use their own body, that just crosses the line.
I don't know, dude. That's how it comes across to me. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair game. The occasional flesh posting to me is okay, especially cosplay related ones, even if it's not safe for work, especially if you've been upfront about your content, and especially if that was the natural pipeline for your career, like if you were a porn VA for example, or a VR chat streamer. But I think if your regular content and your NSFW is just your IRL, especially with your face attached and you market yourself as a VTuber, I would be inclined to think that in large part you're not really a VTuber. Of course, there are exceptions.
Okay, that's fair. If you don't want to call him a VTuber, that is extremely fair. If that was his entire point, fair enough. Whatever.
Especially when you're categorized as a live streamer who happens to have a VTuber model like Onigiri and Kayson, but it's hard not to think that way. And the thing is, this trend is not exclusive to Western VTubing, as much as a lot of the whining traditional fans.
I didn't even call myself a VTuber for a very long time. So I get that. Like, when I was mostly doing Kigurumi stuff and I just did like VTubing stuff occasionally, it's like, I would just say like, I have a VTuber model. Like, sometimes I still just say that. I'm just like, yeah, like I have a VTuber model, like I do VTubing stuff, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I totally get that perspective.
Like to believe. Many indie JP VTubers actually exploit this as well. If you use the godforsaken site known as Twitter, you might have seen a lot of these. A lot of VTubers bouncing their tits and showing their full naked bodies, and it gets them lots of views. Goonbait is and always will be a tried and true method for catching the attention in the internet.
God.
But perhaps on a VTuber's last attempt to find viewers, some take on one of the bigger gambles, breaking what used to be a big taboo in VTubing: political commentary. You see, traditionally, VTubing was supposed to be non-political.
That's what I was thinking, Basil. Literally, as he was showing all those clips, I'm like, I have never seen a single one of these, like, you know, like, things before, you know? They're all bouncing their tits everywhere. I've literally never seen this, ever. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, by the way. It's just funny, because I'm just like, I've never seen that across my timeline my entire life.
Like, there was nothing about anime e-girls that was supposed to reflect real-world current happenings. It was supposed to be a place for escapism. You don't fucking preach about BLM and fuck ICE whenever you're live or you're tweeting, but you also don't preach about the fucking loss of Christian values or pearl clutch about sex workers. But as it is when niche nerdy things become mainstream, political people come in, from all walks and backgrounds. It's always been a thing on Twitter, but they were largely ignored up until the big 2023, when Pikami and Silvervale were harassed by Twitter slacktivists because they dared to play the wizard game. But then other communities started to form, and then other communities that were formed to counter them. It subtly started with people like Kershaw. Pipa also got roped into it. Bro doesn't want—
Wait, is it Karsher? I always thought it was Kirsch. I've never actually heard it pronounced in my entire life, because I've only seen them muttered like 4 times ever.
any of this bullshit in the industry and was never really part of the entire culture war. However, the identity politics crowd deemed her to be right-leaning because she hates that this poison was infesting the industry and because Face Connect was, you know, loved by 4chan. On the other side of the aisle, there were also multiple people making their declarations, like Uki Violetta of Nijisanji EN's blatant hate for white people.
Holy shit. Wait, a Hollow Live, guys? Like, I fucking hate white people? That's fucking actually hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, what? Damn. I will say, I think this goes hand in hand with people not playing characters as much with VTubers and stuff like that. Like, I think, right, it's like basically people that aren't playing the character, it's kind of just like, hey, I just want to, you know, look like an anime girl, anime boy, but it's like me, right? And I mean, obviously there's nothing taboo or against, you know, regular streamers talking about politics and stuff like that. So I think, like, when things start turning that direction, it's like, well, of course, like, VTubers are going to start getting political. I mean, and then it's just, you know, there are ones that are and there are ones that aren't. I'm not, you know, and then there are people that are. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to see fucking politics just fucking in my VTuber feed because I'm not about it, but, like, I don't know. Again, it just seems like something strange to police to me. Because it is just people sharing, you know, their opinion. I don't know.
And Finana's Educate Yourself incident, claiming
I'm just not here to stress people out about it, man. I'm just really not. Like, politics is way too draining, and I just want people to be, like, safe and happy and comfortable here. So, like, that's what I value more than anything else. So, like, I'm never getting involved in that direction. Just not.
that the Japanese term trap was transphobic. This happened in 2022, but whatever. A lot of these politically charged incidents slowly but surely gave rise to a new breed of political figures. Now, we have seemingly right-leaning figures like Powder, a new breed of political figures. Now,
I don't actually know who this is at all, by the way, but that girl on the right, she has a VTuber model that can turn into Furo Erika from Umineko, one of my favorite characters of all time. And when she was her, somebody was like, no, somebody made a clip. She was like, oh my god, like, dude, I recently, like, my whole feed is covered with like anime girls that are, like, real. It's like Kurumi, Numi. And then people are like, oh yeah, Kigurumi. And she's like, yeah, dude, I'm watching TikToks all the time with people talking about Kigurumi, and I'm learning so much. And they were like, oh, is it Ichan? And she's like, yeah, I love Ichan. She's my favorite. So her name's Powder or something. Apparently she loves me. I don't know. But unfortunately we will be leaving both party. We're not collabing, you know. She's got her own little thing she's doing. That's great. Live your life. Leaflet. Okay, see, I told you I don't know who the fuck these people are, man. Because I don't go to that side. But, like, you know, I am Trust me, I feel honored that you enjoy my Kigurumi content. Um, if you were a soft girl, I'd love to collab with you. You aren't. It's okay. We're in different lanes, you know? That's just what it is.
We have seemingly right-leaning figures like Powder and Leaflet, while on the other we have Nyara and Anna Valens? Question mark. Sorry, I could not think of any left-leaning politically charged VTubers that had like a bigger platform. There's also more on Twitter, by the way.
That's genuinely freaking weird. What? Really? I don't have anyone to list because I don't know any of them. But like, really? Is that just because his timelines aren't like on that side, or is that genuinely true? I don't know.
We now have lots of political commentators in VTubing who mostly just tweets about it and occasionally does a little bit of streaming or who doesn't stream at all. I'd explain more of the history about how this happened, but that's worth an entire video. Y'all are gonna have to settle on a super reductive, oversimplified version. All of this combined had VTubing develop its own battleground of political ideologies. Now more than ever, talking about politics is a risky yet effective way to grow your numbers, regardless of right or left. If you are a traditional VTuber fan, it's like a landfill was forming right outside your gated village. If you go outside the gate, you can definitely fucking smell it. It's gotten to a point that even it has attracted the attention of traditional fans who normally wouldn't participate in these kind of discussions. But in lieu of the happening being outside, some feel compelled to say their piece, especially Nijisanji fans because some members there are more politically driven than others, though perhaps it was always inevitable that politics was going to invade VTubing. So hey, you know, if you need a quick number or follower boost, say one of the two things. The N-word hard R and preach about Christianity or something, or that white people need to be cold and fuck the patriarchy, or something. But Nusagi, I hear you ask, what if I'm not North American and these politics don't apply to me?
Don't matter.
Tough luck. Pretend to be a Westoid, I guess. Or
Yeah, I was
maybe
gonna say,
be
literally, dude, it literally does not matter at all. Are you kidding?
racist towards Koreans and the Chinese instead. That usually works sometimes. All these strategies, from copying design elements, copying and participating in rampant engagement, sympathy, and rage bait, the leeching, the trend joining, the drama farming, we'll get into that later, and the political grifting, all scream one point. Everyone wants attention. That everyone, and I mean everyone, is competing hard for the limited attention and eyes VTubing has.
It's very true, man. It's very true. Time is the most valuable commodity, so it's hard. It's hard to get, man. It's hard to get, man. That's why I'm truly blessed that anyone watches me. It's hard, dude. It's hard, man. It's a tough thing to ask of someone to watch you for multiple hours straight.
VTubing ultimately has a cap on the numbers of viewers. The biggest VTuber that we have that is yet to be surpassed was Gargura at 4 million subscribers. That is like less than 10 times smaller than the regular community. And it's one that hasn't really moved significantly since 2020. So everyone is a bit desperate. Everyone is struggling to keep their career sustainable and is often willing to do anything to reach the top or maintain their status quo. Even if it means betraying. Even if it means LARPing. Even if it means sacrificing.
God, man. Betraying. LARPing. I know, dude. LARPing. Just as bad as betraying your friends, man. Betraying all of your morals. LARPing? Oh my god, dude. Oh, the worst. LARPing, to me, is the most overused word right now. Dude, it's like low-key kind of cringe whenever someone says it. I'm not even kidding.
Sacrificing your mental health. And because everyone is having a difficult time, it leads to the next D in our pipeline. Disillusionment. For the VTuber side, after the usual agency experience of being abused or sex-pested or even bullied by your own genmates, it might be a little hard to trust people again. But what is even harder is if the people you used to work with, like your genmates, start to—
Oh, wait. I want to say, it's so funny that this VTuber is showing their statistics right now. I just looked at my statistics today on YouTube because I was watching Mip's streams and she was talking about her demographic and she looked. So right now on YouTube, my percentage is 48.2% are male, 48.1% are female, and 3.6% are unidentified / user specified. Is that not crazy? That it is perfectly equal? Nuts. It's actually nuts.
started to actually be successful and climb the ladder. You know some of these people. They are not good people. How the fuck are they being rewarded? Another case, what if
Thank
the
you for the follow,
acquaintance or
Amanda.
friend that you've trusted so much
Amanda, sorry, I'm thinking about, women. Armada. Thank you. Congratulations on your Mario speedruns. They're going great, I heard.
much that you've exposed your heart to ends up betraying you after 1 or 2 disagreements. Hell, another would be if a third-party company that you hired to deal with your shit ended up scamming you. Maybe the fans you've lovingly cultivated
Hey.
decides to abandon you after you're no longer the shiniest girl in the block. Or worse,
That's fucked up to say, dude. What the hell, dude? I mean, damn. There's nothing wrong with Yanners. I just said she was enjoying herself and her little fucking little group of people, man. Yeah, not everyone's talking about her anymore. Who cares? That doesn't mean she got abandoned.
if you do GFE, turn into an auntie after they just try to dox you and discover that you had a partner, or if you did something that they did not like. What does any of this mean for a girl?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that shit is like so crazy too. It's like the ultimate like role play, no? When yeah, it's like your whole thing is like being a girlfriend experience for everyone, and then it turns out you just are a girlfriend to someone else in real life. That shit is crazy, bro. I mean, it does make sense that, you know, obviously you have more experience to like be good at it or whatever. Like the people at the top probably do have partners because that's like because they're good at it, because they have experience. I don't know, right? Who fucking knows? That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
Disillusionment. The magic is gone. You see the industry for what it truly is behind the scenes. Different cabals scheming, conniving, and backstabbing their way to the top. A bunch of immature, high school-minded, and emotionally, intellectually stunted people who would dump an expose on your ass for a mistake that could have been talked out in private. A bunch of predatory and exploitative individuals trying to siphon as much money and clout as they can from anyone they can snake out of. This medium that used to
God, man, it just sounds so vile. But people do it. People do it. I mean, listen, I'm streaming. Like I said, I hope I can like go full time one day. So like, yeah, I do hope that I can get like some subscribers and stuff. But yeah, there are people that like, come on, dude. I talk about milking in a joking way. You should see what, this is so horrible to be like, yeah, you think I'm bad? Well, take a look at this. It's like insane deflection, right? But like for real, I'm just trying to be a streamer. Do you know that being a streamer is inherently exploitative in this nature? It's part of the freaking business. I'm doing the normal streamer thing, okay? Then you got the other motherfuckers, dude. You should see what they do. I'm not gonna go into it further, okay? It's the ultimate deflection. I feel it. I feel I feel myself under the cooker right now. But I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. It's different. It's different. You should see some of the shit that goes on in some of these fucking private VTuber discords and the way they fucking suck money out of people and they literally make them go bankrupt and want to kill themselves because they have no money and the VTuber has no remorse. It's crazy. I always make sure people are checked on if they donate large sums of money. I do not want someone to ever financially compromise themselves because I want you to live the best life possible. Do not make your life worse by watching me. Only use me as an aid in your life. And that does not mean the aid should be giving me all of your money because that's objectively bad. So yeah, anyway, moving on. That shit also... Speaking about pet peeves grinding my gears, that shit grinds my gears. I'm not gonna lie, that shit grinds my fucking gears. When people genuinely manipulate people and fucking suck their money dry and ruin their lives, that shit is so fucking vile to me. I hate it. I hate it so much. God, I hate it. Anyway.
Inspires so much creative spark in you has begun to develop a negative association. A feeling that looms so heavy it makes you want to give up on this industry. And that is a very...
If you're considering that you donate too much money to me, stop. Don't donate anymore. For real, for real. I'm not kidding when I say that.
Very sad thing. And if you are a fan or an audience member, it's a bit simpler. The collapse of multiple agencies you might have been a fan of, the exposés and many mistakes of the creators you've loved, the vague posting, the frequent drama that they get themselves embroiled in or started, the side comments, the questionable decisions, all piled on top of each other. It plants a seed of doubt in your head, and that seed eventually grows. You just stop liking people. You just stop trusting VTubers, stop trusting VTuber agencies. That once source of boundless...
You guys can trust me though, trust me, you can trust me. Don't trust anyone else, just trust me. Just give me all your money. You can trust me with your money. So stupid.
Joyful energy from your favorite streamer group could get spoiled by one bad Google Docie. Suddenly, you question if your Oshis are the people you thought they were. You notice how fake a lot of things seem. It is reminiscent of celebrity culture before the internet was a thing. People loved actors. People really only hated certain celebrities for superficial reasons like, Justin Bieber gay or his music bad.
It's so true though. I'm not gonna lie. I do wish I could go back to the days when I was like a Super Smash Brothers Melee fan, and I loved Ken, Isaiah, Mango, Armada, Leffen in like ways to where like they just look like celebrities and like not even real people. I know it's funny to say that because like you always want to like see the human on everyone and know that they're just a human at the end of the day. But dude, there's just like there was something about like just seeing them as like WWE actors, you know what I mean? Of just like this is like a character that I'm seeing on the screen. It makes you like having like a favorite character versus like a favorite human, it just doesn't hit the same. Do you know what I mean? Um Man, dude, it made you so much more emotionally invested in the storylines. It's just crazy when like you don't really think about the human. As long as that doesn't make you do anything bad or disrespect or treat people wrong, like because it can if you don't see the human, obviously. But like if you're just like a little spectator and you're just like seeing it as again, like I said, like WWE actors, I think that shit is lit.
But when the internet became a thing, they started yapping, and the more they opened their mouth, they revealed how dumb, malicious, or profoundly unlikable they are. In but half a generation, their carefully crafted PR and identities got broken down online because they cannot shut the fuck up. Such a thing is happening in VTubing. Even VTubers that used to be uncriticable now have critics because of the things they do or say, and sometimes it's even because—
That is true, dude. Oh my god, dude. It is so annoying that people just get so angry for the smallest things. You gotta just remember that it's the vocal minority at the end of the day. Like, literally, I'm sure, I don't want to make a claim like this, but I'm sure almost everyone is like, yeah, Iron Mouse is cool, she's chill, whatever. You might not watch her all the time, you might not like the way her style of content or whatever, but you don't think she's like a fucked up person, you know what I mean? But there are people that are like, dude, she's so fucking evil. Oh my god, have you seen the couple of things that she's done? Dude, she's a sweetheart. She's a sweet girl. It's like so easy to see. I don't know why you're convincing yourself otherwise. It's so strange. Get fucking checked, buddy.
of things they don't do or say. Figures like Bao, Amalie, Iron Mouse, Shylily, and even fucking Iago. Iago! While they are still beloved in the mainstream, doubts about their character had been planted already, and these doubts are no longer just living in 4chan boards and circles. They're a bit more widespread now, just waiting for their next drama so they can jump like an alligator. And whether you agree or—
Oh my god, I know, Zanaker. I know, dude. It is the worst. It is the worst. Oh my god, you're a hypocrite. Oh my god, you're a hypocrite because of something you said 5 years ago, and now what you're saying right now is disagreeing with that. Yeah, because it's called people change. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you for the follow, Myth. I appreciate it.
or disagree with the criticisms around them, it's clear that the tides are shifting against the medium as a whole. And I think this is just a symptom of the greater point, that people are noticing. And when people notice, they do one of two things: step back or double down. Those that aren't unemployed or do
Okay, how many times are we cutting to this though? Like this has been used as B-roll like 6 times. Do you want to say something to us, buddy?
actually touch grass prefer to step back. But because these are VTuber fans that are dedicated and parasocial to their favorites, and because these are VTubers that need their platforms to be alive, most industry members opt to actually double down. Thus, the next D happens: division. Every VTuber wants to grow, no matter fucking what.
True.
Everyone wants the industry to improve and expand, but everyone sees how to do it differently. Old school traditional VTubers and fans prefer to keep it as it is when they joined, character-driven, dismissive of drama, a space truly and purely for weebs and losers. Lighthearted. Usually, these are your Hololive and small agency fans, and VTuber fans who's been around since 2020 or 2021. Anyone that's adjacent to the JP side of the industry, really. But newer fans want to see it change. Bereft of idol culture, no parasocialism, able to show your faces, sanitized. These people came from the Twitch and Western streamer culture. So these two types of fans see certain acts or cultural aspects differently. For a few
It's not so black and white of these sides. In general, these are definitely types of people, but like, I would say I'm certainly someone that is like, I am on the Western side, but I am more on the traditional side in terms of how he's explaining it. Like, again, this is, like, very strange for me to watch this video, because even this, like this video is, like, quote, unquote, "a drama video." I don't do this. I really stick to, like, things that are, like, comfy.
Few examples, traditional fans hate the trend hopping and engagement bait and the VTuber versus IRL because it's not something that VTubers of their era would do. It muddies how a VTuber could be counted and what a VTuber even means, whereas newer fans absolutely enjoy it or don't mind. Newer fans hate a lot of the JP-sourced cultures of VTubing such as lolly, idol culture, and even the character bits, whereas traditional fans are absolutely okay with these and even love parts of it. Traditional fans wants to keep real-world affairs and politics out of their anime girls and values professionalism and orderliness, whereas newer fans tend to value the lawlessness and wants to have current affairs follow them into their brand a lot of the time. This is VTubing's very specific brand of politics, and you might even notice that it has a very interesting reflection onto actual real-world politics. My perspective is that old fans were taken in by VTubing's very niche appeal. VTubing had its set culture, similar to any community. Its target
Dude, Ai is so cute, though. Like, she's actually so cute.
demographic were originally people like me, weebs, nerds, and losers, but when VTubing got popular, many opportunistic e-girls as well as predatory businessmen saw a golden opportunity. And when the large influx of these people came, they chose to dismiss many of its cultural aspects and turned it into an aesthetic choice, or a brand new buzzword that they can pitch to investors or something. Some of the new people coming in aren't really even weebs. They're tourists that just saw what looks to be the cool new fresh hip thing, or just wanted to have the feeling of identifying with something. I always mourn the death of a culture that were made by nerds and losers, because when said cultures became mainstream, a lot of what makes it soulful gets removed for something more normal. The current development of VTubing is just one of the mainstream's many victims, in my opinion.
Interesting. I'm not trying to get, like, kind of, like, crazy in the weeds about this, but I'm just like, a lot of people that don't like me in the Kigurumi community, it's essentially, like, they will literally just straight up be like, yeah, I just want it to be like, you know, Kigurumi in latex suits having sex with each other, and, like, Ichan's trying to make it not that, you know? So I fucking hate her. And I'm like, damn, I mean, that's kind of what bro just said. I'm like, is that, I mean, I guess that's, like, a valid perspective. I don't know. I don't know. I was definitely much more dismissive of that, but I'm like, I mean, like, I get it, I guess. Like, I do get what they mean. Maybe I'm, you know, I'm a fucking weirdo, but I guess maybe it's because I got some normie in my blood, and that's why I'm more okay with it. I do want nerds to have their space to be able to be nerds, and I'm here stomping on sandcastles or something. I guess I don't know. I'm just thinking about it a bit more.
But at the same time, it's not like I liked all parts of the traditional culture too. For example, while I don't mind GFE or parasocial relationships and I even think it gets overly demonized, I also think that it's weird some traditional fans hate it when their Oshis talk to the opposite sex like a Holostar or Nijisanji member. That some people engage too deeply with it or have deluded themselves into thinking that these VTubers, these girls, are actually single. The tribalistic parts of idol culture is something I don't like. I don't like how certain bad situations are often downplayed because they don't like the negative air of drama, and they perpetuate this forced air of sanitation. And in relation to that, I don't like how hugboxy it feels most of the time. Some of these people actually worship the multi-million-dollar
Bro, please.
agency and treat these adult women like they're toddlers. Criticism, even constructive, is not welcome. At the same time, something that I agree with the newer fans is self-expression. Being able to talk about problems in the industry is a good thing. Being able to do more with the concept of piloting a virtual character is cool, to a certain extent. For example, I think LudeTubing is fine, but even saying that is going to give me fierce pushback from traditional fans, and at the same time, it isn't enough to count me in as welcome in the newer fans' tribe. But why I am talking about this isn't to broadcast my opinion.
Damn, bro really just said I'm a fence sitter and no one likes me. Damn, dude. Honest work, dude, but someone has to do it.
It's to explain that my situation is only one of many, and it's a consequence of this big divide. nuances are thrown out of the window to favor agendas and broader, more extreme narratives. You, as a fan or a VTuber, are categorized based off of vibes, based off of the VTubers that you watch, and you are supposed to help the collective push the agenda even if there are things you disagree with on your own tribe. I remember back in the day, there used to be cross-pollination between cultures. Hollow and Twitch VTuber fans, for example, were like curious and generally welcoming citizens that wanted to meet with each other and see the sides of their nations. It used to be a big deal, and an entire event even, when a Hololive member would collab with a VShojo member or a Nijisanji EN member. For example, do we all remember the Romeo and Juliet memes of Kiara and Pomo? But again, as time passed on, the differences grew too big. Incidents such as the big Nijisanji EN Discord leak, the VShojo Nuxtaku situation, Salengate, the Wizard Game incident, and other politically laced drama created a sense of animosity between each other. And yes, there are still traditional fans that like new VTubers, and new VTuber fans that like traditional VTubers, but we rarely see cross-cultural pollination happen anymore. And I think that's a sad thing. Of course, between the traditional and new fans, they have their own sub-factions, right?
Jesus.
Incidents like the Cinder Doki drew circles in the indie sphere, how that fandom doesn't even know if they should like Fillion or not, the Holostar's accent and Sameko Saba.
I actually low-key love Fillion. It's funny because I first got exposed to her through like random shorts, and I was like, dang, she's really like, she's just like crazy, you know? And the more I've kind of watched just like her in just like not necessarily chill content, but it's just like a she's just like streaming with someone. Like, dude, her like one-liners and like the way she phrases things is like so funny, dude. Like I guess her slapstick comedy is good, but like I love her like sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like it's the chill comedy. Like, she'll just, like, say something in a way, and it's just, like, it's so fucking funny. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Brought also toward a divide in the traditional group. Both are not as unified as you might think. I could draw a map of these groups of people, as well as their factions, but that would require me to go full autist mode and speculate like a motherfucker. Maybe I'll do that in another video or something. As a whole, these frequent clashes, these attempts to gain popularity, the disillusioned people who see the industry for what it is, culminate in the last
exactly as areas.
Drama. Aside from political grifting, engagement baiting, copycatting, virtue signaling, aesthetic stealing, and goonerism, there is also drama farming. Now obviously, I'm part of this problem.
Goonerism is not a real... No one actually says that, right? I actually don't know. That's a genuine question. Anime Adventure, thank you for the follow.
I've been making videos.
And they were the 100 bits as well, Chips. You should collab with Fillion to boost her up a little. Give her some confidence to get back into VTubing. You're right, man. Damn, I'll slide into her DMs right now. I heard she's online on Discord like once every 6 months, so I'll catch her. I'll catch her at a good time.
Videos about VTubing since late 2021, and I originally didn't start covering drama a lot. I was broadly focused towards commentary and recalling events, but during the big 2024, I pivoted somewhat. And now I stream at least once a week talking about the drama that happens in the industry, and I upload highlights and clips onto my second channel. I have a passion for autistically talking about issues, events, and wider topics about VTubing as a culture and medium. That's what my main channel is for. But me doing drama was a natural step in the pipeline. And the thing is, it's successful. In fact, it is so fucking successful that sometimes even my highlights channel actually beats my main channel in terms of monthly viewership. But the thing is, I'm not the only one that did this, especially in 2024 and 2025. In fact, I would like to think I'm one of the slower ones. Kyo and False ID are gone, and some of the drama-hating parts of the industry celebrated that, but the thing is, they left a massive gap in the market. People that were worse or better were eventually going to replace them, and that gap, that demand, was filled in by creators like Kazahana and Lydia, fucking even Katliente to a certain extent. And that's only on the YouTube side of things. The drama coverage and discussion on the Twitter side is inarguably 100 times worse. On Twitter, it's not just drama and news tubers that talks about news and drama, it's fucking everyone. Everyone has something to say about current events. So in VTubing, whenever something bad happens and if you're on the goddamn site, you're going to know or hear about it one way or another. And the sheer number of people drama peddling makes the negative air around the industry thicker. So much so that 1 week without major drama is actually a godsend. VTuber fans can actually breathe for a bit, and I actually get to watch some streams. Blocking people like me isn't really even enough to stop drama from appearing in your timeline at this point. Again, you will hear about drama one way or another. Your timeline might even get full of it, and it's only a matter of time and topic that you will eventually participate in it as well. The main point of this particular D, the core of it, is that negativity sells. Agenda posting, publicly throwing shade at people you don't like but did nothing to you, creating Google Docies for the most nothing burger issues, ignoring healthy communication with your peers so you can make a big stink about it, virtue signaling, and vague posting about le bad thing are all meta strats employed by VTubers big and small, even the ones that you know. Whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of VTubers start drama or exactly know what they're doing by saying or doing something inflammatory, whether for attention or for their own unspoken agenda. All of this compounds. Because people are having a difficult time gaining attention, there's going to be drama. Because people are disillusioned, there's going to be drama. Because people are divided, there is going to be drama. When the industry is filled and dominated by high school-minded people, this becomes a toxic and deliberate self-sustaining cycle. I think these are the main reasons why VTubing has become so negative. I'm sure you have something to say that I might have missed, but I think
Yeah, where is the graffiti?
whatever you can think of will roughly fit into one of the 4 Ds. Again, admittingly, I am part of this cycle, but I guarantee you 99% of the creators and fans in this space are all part of the
Okay, what if I vague post about... What is this guy's name again? Dude, I was so good. I remember Depressed Nagasaki or something. What if I vague post about his foot fetish that totally was coming through in this video on Twitter? What if I did that? Do you think that would be a good start for me?
too. Many of the VTubers you like might have also politically grifted or currently is, might have also done bad engagement bait or sympathy or rage baits up till now, might have virtue signaled and still do, might have grandstanded and still do, might have started or peddled drama and still do. We just need to be a bit honest with ourselves. Everyone has sort of a hand in setting precedents that made the industry a tiny bit worse. Worse in this case is subjective, but the discussion
We all have our hands in making this industry worse. Oh my god. So negative. This is the most negative thing I've ever heard.
it still breeds that same air of conflict, of negativity. And I think that's why we can't go back to the way it used to be. We were just so optimistic and captured by the magical nature of VTubing, now we don't have that figurative anesthesia anymore. However, even if that's the case, there is still a way to engage in VTubing that might preserve a little bit of that magic if it's still on your person. And it's to uninstall Twitter. No, seriously, just, uninstall Twitter. 99% of the drama comes from Twitter, okay? Or heck, a less effective yet sort of valid way is to block
But still stay subscribed to me on YouTube where I talk about all of the drama that's on Twitter.
people. You don't want to hear about drama? Block it. You don't like certain VTubers? Block them and their fans. Yeah. To a certain extent, the happiest remaining VTuber fans are the ones that are ignorant of the bullshit that is going on in Twitter and usually just stick to their own circles. Clip watchers who only watch the occasional VTuber clips or don't give too much of a fuck to delve deep into threads. Casuals who engage with a little bit of everyone.
Same with
Stream
follow
watchers
Crimson?
that focus their energy entirely on the VTuber and their group streams and only engage with the peers and community instead of everything else. Unironically, the one effective way that I've noticed the happier parts of the industry do is just to ignore everything else. No engaging with it, just ignoring it. Try doing that in 2026. Focusing all your energy into having fun instead of anything else was unironically the source of positivity in 2020.
I mean, low-key, unironically, besides literally watching this video, that's all I do. I see the shit and I just ignore it, bro. It ain't that hard. I'll just be honest. It ain't that hard. I'll like say a little response in my own head and then I'll just move on with my life.
The rest of the world was negative, especially with the pandemic, but VTubers allowed an outlet to be able to have fun by ignoring the world for a bit. In a sense, just do the same thing that we've all done before, albeit more deliberate this time. Despite the flawed nature of VTubing and its people, I still call it my home. There's a reason I keep coming back to it even after my 10th graduation / hiatus. It's a fucked up place, but there's life here. It's still beautiful. There are still sights to behold, people to meet, subcultures and communities to explore, and 2D girls to simp for, obviously. So despite the absolute state of VTubing, I'm gonna stick around. And, you know, I hope some of the people watching this video still do too.
All right. I mean, listen, it was honestly a great video for me to just kind of air out my general thoughts that I don't really talk about. So honestly, I'm super chill with it. And I do think he is right. I think for the most part, it was a pretty objectively correct take on why things are just kind of heading in the direction that they do. I don't think it takes too many people to really figure that out. I don't think anything said is like extremely insightful. I think it's kind of just an obviously trend, an obvious trend that has been going towards this direction. And yeah, how do you stop it? How do you change it? I don't think you really do. I think you just have people that ascribe to it and people that don't, you know? That's just what it is. This side of VTubing is here to stay, and it's, you know, it's up to you if you want to be a part of it or not. And that's really just it. So yeah. All right, that took longer than I thought because I ended up yapping a lot. I need to go pee and then we come back and we're gonna do some more content. So be right back, guys. Be right back. Just give me like 1 minute. Hello, I'm back. Echan did not clear things out. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Hello, chat. I'm back. Ooh, thank you for the resub, Shank. I appreciate it. Funny enough, people always say that things change and that it was better before, but what really happened is that the change and don't like you can't. Either I'm dying or you fucked up a little bit. What hold on. I'm gonna understand what you're saying. Don't worry about it. Don't get shy about it. Hold on. I'm gonna figure it out. Funny enough, people always say that things change and that it was better before, but what really happened is that they change and that they don't like that someone else is taking the spotlight. I understand what you're saying in general. Yeah, I mean that is also true. Yes, correct. All good, dude. No, don't worry about it. You're all good. You're all good. I know because I hate the feeling when I send a message and then I'm like, oh shit, like I fucked up my words to where it's actually gonna be kind of hard for the streamer to understand what the hell I just said. And then like, you know, I like try and correct it later and then like I hear them say it and then like try and read it and they get confused and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what the hell? I hate it, dude. So you're all good. Don't worry about it. Muted Goose, thank you for the follow, by the way. Welcome, welcome. Um, all right. Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys were enjoying kind of talking to yourselves in the chat about that video. Like I said, it's such a broad title, the absolute state of VTubing. I'm like, dude, I gotta watch this, I feel. So I'm glad I made the time for that. You didn't clear the timer in the BRB screen. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, I was going through everything, and that is the one place where I forgot it. I only follow bottoms. Bro, I swear I've seen you before. What the hell? Do you follow a lot of VTubers or something? Anyway, thank you for the follow. W clickbait on the title, 4 out of 10, too much force in feet. Yes, I do. Do you follow people on like Twitter too? Dude, I swear I like see you around VTubers. I don't know why I've just like seen that name before. It's like a common joke, sorta, I think. There's definitely multiple of you, but yeah, dude, I've seen that guy. I've seen that guy before. I've read that name before. Yeah, dude, everyone knows you. You're famous. Not on Twitter. That is my friend. I only follow bottoms. Wow. That's so cool. You guys know each other? Oh my god. That's adorable. I'm glad you're all working together and, just enjoying life. I really wish I can subscribe to your YouTube, but still need to unsub to more than 1,000 Bro, what the hell, Ruriko? What is wrong with you? You can't subscribe to my YouTube because you're maxed out on your subscription list? Just unfollow literally anyone. Not all of those people matter to you. There's just no way. And if it's really that hard for you, then like make another YouTube channel. I don't know. Like have an archive channel. Like, because I know I am subscribed to quite a lot of people where like they haven't posted videos in like 8 years, but like I loved them way back in the day, so I want to just leave them subscribed in case one day they post again or come back or whatever. Have like an archive channel and then just subscribe to the ones that like actually post. But I don't know how you're maxed out. That's crazy. I'm probably subscribed to like 180 people or something if I had to guess. I don't know. Somewhere in the hundreds. Like in the 100s. Like not like 100s as in like 100 to 900, but like 100 something, Yeah, Gage, I got you, bro. I got you. I think we should be able to make enough time for it. I'm down to make that happen. I did say that I'd react to FNAF today for sure. Like that was like an off the cuff reaction that I did today because the video literally came out last night. So I got no problem with that. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, I think we'll do this react now, and then we'll make sure we have time for getting over it on Wednesday, like a somewhat substantial chunk. We'll do like the fun little quick VTuber reaction videos because all those highlight videos are like 10 minutes or so. We'll watch like a handful of those, and then we'll play getting over it on Wednesday. I think that's the goal. I think that's what we should try and do. I'm sorry, Ranger. I'm sorry. I told you that I have to lock in, right? And like, unfortunately, streaming Darkest Dungeon was killing my channel. I don't even like saying this. I don't like addressing it. It's sad, but like, I just can't afford it right now, bro. I gotta lock in and let Darkest Dungeon go for a little bit. I know some of you really liked it, and my dream is to bring it back. So I will. I absolutely will bring it back, but I just literally can't right now. But I will. I promise that I will. I promise that I will. I'm glad that I gave you guys some fun memories, and I'm glad some of you guys are playing it yourselves now. It will come back. I promise it will come back. It will come back one day. It just might be a while. Like, I did not promise that Silk Song will come back. I might have said like maybe or something. I promise. Hand to God or whatever they say. I'm not religious in any way, so technically this doesn't mean anything. But like, hand to God, Darkest Dungeon will come back. I don't know when, but it will. I promise. Because I actually loved playing it. Like, it was actually so fun, and I felt like I was making amazing content with it. Unfortunately, not enough people gave it a chance, but it's okay. I just gotta, like, farm some more viewers, and then we'll jump back to it and try it again in the future. Also, Varun, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. I saw that you refollowed me. I guess it made you unfollow when you got banned. That's funny. Yeah, Executor, just be a good boy. Just be a good boy. You really sabotaged that one drawful stream. Diamond, thank you for the follow as well. You don't have anything to say, Ichan? What are you talking about? What do you mean I don't have anything to say? I'm talking... What, because I took a 1-second pause? Buddy, I'm gonna kill you. All right, hold on. Let me get... I want to edit my stream. How do I edit my YouTube stream? I want to edit the title. Damn it. All right, there we go. Okay, just retire if you have nothing to say. You're right. I'll just play a YouTube video because I don't know what to say. So I'll just play a YouTube video instead. Does the VTuber, does the Herta VTuber model work? It doesn't work. Why is this like a bit? Hold on. Bro, oh, what the fuck? Okay. I think I figured out why. I think I need to have my alternate outfit on in order to put my Herta head on. I don't really know why. That's weird. Okay, I don't know why it does that, but apparently I need the alt outfit on. That's so strange. Okay, anyway, I figured it out, finally. I was like, why is this never working? Because the button always works when I launch up VTube Studio, because I start with the Herta mask on my head whenever I launch VTube Studio. I don't know why my rigger did that, but yeah, anyway. Ever since they gave me the new outfit, it does that. And I don't know how this shit works, so like whatever. It's a miracle that I even like know how to do this type of shit, honestly. Okay, dude, people love Miku. Miku is redeemed more than anything else by far. It's crazy. Anyway, dude, we got a hot one. Literally, new Bones video drops right as I start watching him again. I mean, the timing is just immaculate. Can you beat FNAF at max speed? The thumbnail says 100% speed. So I don't know if he's literally modding each game to run at 100 speed. Like, I don't know if that's clickbait or not. If it's not clickbait, that sounds unreal. The nights are gonna last like 15 seconds. So I'm genuinely really curious about how this video is gonna go. It feels new and fresh in terms of challenge runs. So without further ado, let's give it a watch.
The horror of Five Nights at Freddy's is mostly based around one thing: atmosphere. The gameplay of the first few games is slow-paced, with the player using the cameras to gather limited information about their surroundings, then in the downtime between those camera checks, taking in the quiet, unnerving atmosphere. The atmosphere is unsettling. It slowly causes the player to panic before they eventually miss something and lose the night.
Begging, okay, that's not the bear. The bear's not. God damn it! Fucking hippo!
Fucking hippo! That's so good, dude. He called him the hippo. Oh my god, it's so good. Copper, thank you for the resub.
These moments where the player is forced to do absolutely nothing but be alone with their own thoughts about their surroundings is what makes FNAF FNAF. But FNAF was made in 2014, and now we're in 2026, and we no longer have the attention spans to worry about horror or whatever.
She is such a bad bitch.
Previously on the Bones 5 YouTube channel
Who is that?
on YouTube, we've filled this dead space with more tasks and more games. With more threats to worry about, the information gathering process...
Like, hold on, why am I watching Bones? I figured out the real FNAF content creator I should be watching. Feeling old yet? That's literally what I was gonna say. It's like, it feels very strange to know that like when FNAF came out, I wasn't even like a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I was like sentient, and I had agency and was like choosing to do things in my own life when FNAF dropped. And that shit was 12 years ago. Holy shit, I'm a hag.
Never stops, eliminating that downtime. But today, I wanted to keep us contained within one...
You know, I recently learned that I'm younger than Barry Grape, so like low-key, We're good. Is that like a vague drama post? I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn how to do this stuff now. I'm not gonna like actually say her or anything, but we just say that, and then like maybe it trickles over, and then people start slamming me or something. I don't know, right? Anyway, this has nothing to do with you FNAF people, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you should come to my Twitch channel and let me know that you came from YouTube video, because if you do, I will love you forever, literally. Thank you. It would really make my day if you did.
Game at a time. And instead of increasing the space that we control,
I will outlive
increase
Barry.
the time. That's right, in this series of videos, we're going to be going through the max modes or hardest custom night challenges in each of the Five Nights at Freddy's games and modding them to make them as fast as possible, with the end goal of determining what kind of speed multipliers we can get up to in each of the games before.
What if streamers did a challenge where it was just the first one to pass away from age? Sorry, anyway, all right, I'm not gonna keep talking about that. That sounds kind of gruesome, but it just sounds kind of funny, right? You just like the collab literally just goes until one of you just gets old and dies. That'd be kind of lit, right? Think about the follow Magister.
they become completely impossible. So let's get into the rules of this challenge. We'll be using an external program called Cheat Engine to modify the in-game.
Like, what if you did that with the guy that's like 88 and a World War II veteran that plays Call of Duty fucking Warzone and snipes people like 1,000 miles away? What if you did that with him? Oh my god! And then like that one old guy that plays RuneScape. And like people called him, like they thought he had like a felony background, but like it actually turned out to be false, and then like everyone was trying to cancel him and stuff like that. Both them head to head, they streamed together until okay, I gotta shut up. This is so ridiculous to say. I just, for some reason, it just sounds funny in my head. Okay, I'm done. The death is not funny.
Game speed. Cheat Engine has an option that allows us to speed hack or change the internal.
Okay, who used Cheat Engine though, right? Who used it? I did. I cheated. I was a cheater. You know, whenever people ask me if like I've ever cheated in video games, I say no. Okay, but I did have a past in cheating. I did use Cheat Engine. I'll just be honest and straight up about that. I did. It's actually why my hair's blue right now.
Speed at which the game runs at. We can go all the way up to a 500 times multiplier with Cheat Engine, and we'll be testing each individual max mode to see what exact multiplier we can get to while the game is still possible. However, aside from Cheat Engine, we won't be allowed to use any external programs to help us with playing at high speeds. So auto clickers, macros, or FPS limiters are banned. If applicable, we may discuss a theoretical limit within some games when using tools, but for this challenge, we're mostly trying to focus on a possible human limit. We will be allowing glitches if they provide us with any kind of advantage and could potentially lead to a faster possible speed up, though we can only perform glitches that are possible without violating any prior rules, so no FPS slowdowns to stall Foxy's timers. In the case that a glitch does provide us with a faster possible speed up, I'll also try my best to calculate the human limit for playing that max mode legitimately, without any kind of glitches. With the rules now out of the way, let's get into our first max mode, the classic and original 420 mode from Five Nights at Freddy's. Out of all the max modes in these games, 420 mode was one of the ones that I was the most curious about. FNAF 1, in my opinion, definitely has the most boring max mode out of the mainline games.
The thing is that when the speed is this fast, all of the cycles that you would normally do to like kind of guarantee wins wouldn't work, right? Because you just don't, you can't input the APM fast enough to where those cycles would work. So you have to create new things that I assume are going to be way riskier. Like maybe you do like half of the regular cycle, and by doing half of the regular cycle, there's, you know, like a 20% chance that you just die, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm curious though.
Might be a bit of personal bias talking here, but even still, I was interested to see how speeding up the game would change things. I'm sure you're all familiar with the concept of movement opportunities by now, but because of how crucial they are to the challenge within this video, I think it's important that we give a brief rundown. Essentially, every animatronic rolls a chance to move based on their AI value, with that chance increasing at higher AI levels. However, throughout the entire game, the frequency of their rolls or their movement interval always stays constant. FNAF 1 is weird in that all of the animatronics have slightly different, and very specific movement intervals, likely to make the game feel more random when multiple characters attack at the same time. Since the in-game difficulty of the animatronics is always tied to their movement chance and not their movement interval, we've never really seen what the game would look like if the animatronics were directly made faster until now, and soon enough, it would make quite the difference. Considering how slow-paced FNAF 1's 420 is, I figured that I would start out with a 2x multiplier off the bat, and while we're still at speeds that are relatively manageable, I'm going to take some time here to explain the strategy that we'll be using for 420 mode. Essentially, we're going to be stalling the two camera characters by constantly flipping the cameras so that the only real threats throughout the night are Bonnie and Chica. Freddy would normally be...
I feel like I would almost placebo myself to think that ×2 is easier because the night goes by 2 times faster. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have more chances to like beat the night.
Able to quickly move into our office if we didn't keep a close eye on him, as his movement interval is significantly shorter than the other animatronics. However, in order for him to enter the office and go into his attack phase, a few conditions must be met. In FNAF games, sudden movement is often triggered through some sort of transition animation, like a camera being pulled up or down, or moving through locations in a room. This enhances the horror of the game by limiting the visual movement of the animatronics right up until the jump scare. Freddy is no different. Once at the East Hall corner, he requires the cameras to be pulled up and the right door to be open in order to enter the office. But if you're still selected on the East Hall corner, he'll be stalled until you click off of it. This means that as long as we never leave camera 4B, we never have to waste power and, more importantly, time on closing the right door for Freddy. This also means that we won't be able to monitor Foxy's progress in the cameras. But Foxy doesn't actually require you to be looking at Pirate's Cove in order to stall him. You just need to open the cameras to initiate his locked timer. Since we can pretty much eliminate Foxy and Freddy from the night, this just leaves Bonnie and Chica at our left and right doors as our only main threats. In order to deal with them, we just have to follow a very simple loop throughout the night. Check one light, pull up the cameras while moving towards the next light, check that light, and repeat. If we see one of them, close their door and continue the cycle. At 2x speed, we only have 2.5 seconds to close the doors once Bonnie and Chica arrive at our blind spot.
That is, you know, honestly, as dumb as it sounds, this is what really put in 2x like speed into perspective. Yeah, lowering the reaction time to 2.48 is pretty nuts, man. Like, it's definitely doable, especially for Bones, duh. But I'm thinking about, like, you know, just as high as, like, ×5, and it's like, shit. I mean, that's 1 second. I don't know, man. I don't know. Also, thank you, Chris. I know. 2.48 is fine. ×2 is totally chill. But when I'm going back to thinking about 100, it's like, well...
But with enough speed, this strategy was proving successful, and I was able to beat 420 mode at 2x speed with relative ease. Moving on to 3x speed, I had to get a bit more creative. Bonnie and Chica are now moving roughly every 1.6 seconds, and having to constantly scroll across the office was wasting too much time. If Bonnie and Chica were to rush the office at the same time, I just wouldn't be fast enough to close both doors in time. Thankfully, there is one more optimization we can make to our 420 strategy to reduce this office scrolling as much as possible. We know that we're pretty much locked in camera 4B for the entire night, and with Freddy just staring at us, we aren't really getting much information out of this camera. But you'll notice that when Chica...
Dude, FNAF 1 still looks so good, by the way. I really love the aesthetic of the first game a lot.
Moves into this camera with Freddy, the sprite within the camera changes. It isn't luck-based which one you'll see either. If Chica and Freddy are both in camera 4B, the game will always show Chica's sprite, and we can use this to our advantage. If we look at a graph of Chica's movement throughout the building, you'll notice that in order to reach our door, she always has to pass through camera 4B. So until we see Chica in camera 4B, we have no reason to ever check the right door for her. This not only saves power, as we're using the lights half as much, but it also allows us to be much more consistent with Bonnie, who is easily reactable within 1.6 seconds so long as we're already on his side. With this new strategy, it wasn't much longer until I was able to complete 420 at 3 times speed, and 4 times speed. Things were going very well with this strategy, and it was clear that all of the speed I had built up from playing much more difficult max mode
Bro, what the fuck is this? Why is there sands in the middle of the screen?
was paying off. But I was about to run into a complete brick wall when I increased the multiplier to 5 times speed. At 5 times speed, Bonnie and Chica now only give you 1 second upon reaching the door to close it on them. And I was starting to wonder if this was the limit for 420 mode. 1 second is not a lot of
Yeah, Chips, no, Bones explains things really well. Yeah, like, I mean, he takes you through this so simply. It's very easy to follow.
time, especially if Bonnie and Chica happen to enter the door blind spot when you're in the cameras. And if they happen to appear at the same time, there's pretty much nothing you can do.
I assume it's probably also because he probably takes notes as he's playing, pretty much. Not literally as he's playing, but like after deaths and stuff. Because one thing that kind of shocked me when I was listening to his last video / watching it, you know, Hopeless Pursuit, he was talking about editing his videos like as he was still doing the challenge, like on the same day. So it seems like he'll like record for a couple of hours, stop, and then like just edit and like clip and snip that stuff. So I assume he's like taking like notes and writing down things that are like important to like pace the video and like, I don't know. I feel like that would make it like easier to explain as you go back.
He could only have gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Making the mode pretty RNG based at this speed. I kept trying and kept failing at 5 times speed. If this ended up being possible, it was definitely my limit for a legitimate 420 win. However, FNAF games are pretty glitchy, and I was wondering if there were any glitches that we can use to possibly increase this multiplier even higher. Put a pin in that 5 times multiplier for a legitimate completion,
All right,
we'll come
sure.
back to that later.
Okay.
Let's see how high we can push FNAF 1 with glitches. There are only 2 main glitches that I think would have any impact on FNAF 1, and they both have to do with Foxy. It's been known for a while now that messing with the frame rate of the game has some weird interactions with Foxy. Once he leaves Pirate's Cove, lower frame rates cause him to move slower, and with low enough frame rates allow you to beat the night while doing nothing at all. We are messing with the speed of the game here, but Cheat Engine's speed hack ensures that both normal timers and frame counters work as intended, so there's nothing for us to exploit here. This leaves the only other major glitch in FNAF 1, the sprite overwrite glitch, or as it's more widely referred to, the Foxy glitch. This is probably the most frequently covered glitch on my channel next to the FGP glitch in FNAF 3. And I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me
I've seen this
explain
graphic,
it, so
yes.
I'm gonna keep it brief this time. The sprite overwrite glitch basically allows you to kill Foxy using the door lights and puts the game into a weird state. The way we do this is through coordinating Foxy's arrival at the door with the door opening through a tight timing window. Essentially, when the door is opening or closing and Foxy arrives at the office, he's always going to wait for the door to finish its transition between open and closed before performing the expected action. This means that if the door is currently in the opening state, Foxy is going to wait to enter it until it's fully open. But if you press the door lights in the short window when Foxy is at the door, but not yet in the office, his sprite gets overwritten by the lights. After Foxy is overwritten,
This low-key sounds really fun, though. Like, I almost like, I haven't ever beaten 420 mode yet in FNAF 1. I'm like, dude, I might need to utilize that glitch just to beat the game. I'm such a noob. But that sounds kind of cool. Like, I don't know, have you ever used, like, glitches to, like, beat a game during your first playthrough? Shit feels kinda awesome, I'm not gonna lie.
the game still thinks you're in Foxy's jumpscare animation, so you aren't able to use the cameras at all. And since Foxy is no longer present, and Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy all require a camera flip to jumpscare you,
I've always been someone that loves glitches, though. Like, it's funny, whenever I play through single player games, I'll often always discover glitches that, like, nobody else really has. I don't know if it's just the way I, like, move my character in, like, games. I don't know, it's very strange. But, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I always, like, loved glitch hunting. Probably my favorite one that I ended up doing as a kid, well, it's tough. Pretty much all of them come from Legend of Zelda games, to be honest. Like, getting behind the Door of Time, in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, before getting any of the spiritual stones, that was really awesome. like turning into adult Link way earlier and then doing like the child dungeons as adult Link. Like, dude, that was so cool. And then also playing Twilight Princess during the first or second wolf stage, which is still super early on. Like, you still have 3 heart containers, so you haven't even gotten a heart upgrade yet. You'll get to a part where you're still in your starting village, and there's like this little circle area. It's very close to like where the bridge is that takes you into, crap, I forget where it takes you. But at that bridge, when it's closed, you can use a rock to clip out of it and then go like all the way to Hyrule Field with like nothing. You can just do that at the starting area. I don't know. There's so many glitches. But anyway, you're like with the little like black monster guys, and like as you do your little target lock on thing with like what's the girl's name? Minori, I want to call her Midoriya. Mabubi, Minda, Midna. Yeah, when you're doing the little like hand lock on thing where her hair comes out and then like your Wolf Link and like the circle comes, and then when you let go, he like Wolf Link pounces and attacks the little black monster guys. If you angle it right, he will do the pounce thing and he will jump he'll jump like 6 feet in the air and go on top of the world map. And then you can actually walk on top of the world map, and there's holes everywhere. But funnily enough, somehow there's like a path you can actually go through. And if you jump off at the very edge of it, you will land at the entrance of the Master Sword dungeon. So you can then go get the Master Sword before even defeating the first, before beating the first boss. Dude, that shit is so fun too. Oh my god, like doing those glitches as a kid was like so fucking cool. The first time I learned about bomb chew hovering, oh my god, I lost my mind. Dude, yeah. All of the Zelda glitches early as a kid, I loved doing them so much.
There's no one left to check you for.
You could also never get the Master Sword and stick with the wooden sword the whole time, which I also did. And you can go all the way until you fight the one boss where you get the double hook shot and you have to fight, it's like the flying boss, like the fucking pterodactyl motherfucker, like the giant bird bitch. You can get all the way there, and unfortunately your wooden sword actually does 0 damage and no items do any damage to that boss, so you're actually soft locked at that boss with the wooden sword. But I did do that too.
Sitting in the office for the remainder of the night. This glitch has proven particularly useful in videos where I've beaten multiple FNAF games at the same time, as it allows me to pretty much eliminate FNAF 1 at the beginning of each night at the cost of performing a trick that's pretty precise. When I was first conceptualizing how I'd tackle FNAF 1 in this challenge though, I didn't think the sprite overwrite glitch would be of much use. The window to hit the glitch was already pretty precise at normal speed, so increasing the speed even more would just make the trick even harder to hit. But
Rib not having internet to know about glitches as a kid. I like didn't really, dude, I remember, oh my god, when I had dial-up internet, I remember I wanted to watch this one Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time video. And I think it was 8 minutes long, and it took me 7.5 hours to buffer an 8-minute long video at 360p. I remember I'd watch like 5 seconds of it, and then it would buffer, and then I'd have to go back and I'd watch like the 5 seconds of it for like literally on repeat like 100 times, and then like finally another second would load, and then I'd like watch those 6 seconds 100 times, and then the 7 second would load, and then I'd watch the 7 seconds 100 times. Oh my god.
But if it's still possible at speeds higher than our legitimate run, it would be worthwhile. If I managed to hit this glitch at a high speed, I wanted it to be the only time that I had to hit it, so I had to make sure that I found the theoretical fastest possible speed that I could hit the glitch on, then try actual attempts. There's only 3 clicks required to perform the glitch. Selecting the hall camera to get Foxy running, opening the door, and turning on the light. I figured that the bottleneck here would be the distance my cursor has to travel between clicks 1 and 2, since the gap between the west hall and the left door button is much larger than the gap between the left door button and the left light button. This means that if I was able to get the door open in time and get jump scared by Foxy, that multiplier was likely possible. I kept climbing multipliers, and it turns out even though this glitch is very fast and precise, it's still possible on higher multipliers than our legitimate threshold. Eventually, I reached 8 times, and this seemed to be a wall. We were now 2 times faster than our legitimate record, and man, hitting this glitch was proving to be pretty difficult. I was able to get the door open in time for Foxy to enter, but I just wasn't able to click the
looks
light
so
fast
crazy,
enough to initiate
'cause
the
it isn't
glitch and
even
kill
on times 2
Foxy. Every
speed.
time I'd be too late, and Foxy would enter. I realized that the
Times 2 is in like his editing software, like he's just playing like the raw footage.
problem wasn't even my mouse speed, as I was over the light button in time every time. It was the fact that I just couldn't click fast enough. There's a short delay from when the door opens to when the light becomes clickable. And at 8 times speed, this only gives us a 2-frame window to go from clicking the door button to clicking the light. I needed a method to click
Damn.
faster, but also keep good enough aim so that I can still flick up to the door button from the West Hall and open it in time for Foxy. Jitter clicking, or flexing your forearm to jitter the left mouse button, was way too unstable to make this work, but I was able to see some promising results with butterfly clicking. Butterfly clicking involves alternating clicks between your index and middle finger instead of just clicking with one finger, resulting in a higher click speed. An additional benefit to butterfly clicking though is that you retain your stability in your palm, making it especially useful for situations in which you need to track a target while maintaining a high clicks per second.
It's so funny, like I consider myself like a gamer, and you know, like I certainly am quite a strong gamer. You know, there are games that I'm very, very proficient at, you know, well, extremely skilled at, even like top 1% type beat. But I've never been someone to like do stuff like this where like I don't know, dude. I remember like playing like Call of Duty with my friends back in the day, and they'd always be like, "Oh my god, my trigger finger is so fast," and they'd like have this whole technique where they'd like use all 5 of their fingers to piano like the trigger on their Xbox controller to make like them shoot the 6 bullets of their Python pistol in Black Ops 1 like immediately. It'd go like, grrrn! I'm like, I don't know, like that type of stuff. I just never did.
This is why almost every 1.8 Minecraft PvP player uses this clicking method as opposed to jittering. In my case, I was able to get some pretty close attempts by just using my index finger to open the door, then hitting the light right after with my middle finger. I had the speed, now I just needed to hit the window.
Yes.
That's so crazy.
Yo! Holy shit! That's crazy. All right,
It's
that
crazy.
was 8 times. That would be it. That would be the cutoff. That's crazy. Yes, that's so cool, dude.
With enough trial.
But wait, hold on though. If you increase, that was 8 times he said. If you increase it to 9 times, is that still only 2 frames? Because he's saying right now the window is 2 frames. So for a couple speed increases, it may still remain at 2 frames before it goes to 1 frame. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's the case, but it may be the case. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about the Oot remake. I'm not super excited. Because I'm just such a boomer to where it's like if I really want to play Oot, then I'll just like go back and play the original. But I'm extremely curious. I definitely like when it drops, I'm definitely gonna like look at it a bit, and then like if I look at it a bit and it looks awesome, then you know I'll stop looking at everything and then play it myself.
And error, we've now raised the FNAF 1 420 multiplier up to 8 times speed, but I couldn't help but feel like there was more. 8 is a bit of a weird multiplier to end on, and personally, I'd much rather it be a multiple of 5. They're just cleaner. And it turns out 10 times speed might in fact be possible. Earlier, I said the window to hit the glitch was 2
No way. No way is he gonna say literally exactly what I just said.
frames at 8 times speed. So I wondered what the theoretical highest speed was that still offered a frame where the light button was actionable and the door was still in its transition period of going from closed to open.
Okay, he said it a lot different than me, but he did say the same thing.
To make this a bit easier to visualize, I added a number at the top left corner to represent the state of the door, with each value corresponding to a different state the door can be in. I then used an auto clicker to ensure that the light would turn on at the first possible frame that it could. If the light turns on while the door is still in state 4, its transition state, that means that it's theoretically possible. And sure enough, at 10 times speed, we have our frame,
Hell
and
yeah.
I began attempts.
Hell yeah.
10 times
Hell
speed
yeah.
was noticeably harder than 8 times. So much harder that I felt like I needed to be more efficient with my attempts. I was dying so much trying to hit this frame perfect click that I was wasting the majority of my sessions waiting for the game over animation to end so I could get back in the night. So I just modified the game a bit to reset to the start of the night on a jump scare.
This video is fun. It's completely different from like almost all of the other challenges, it feels. Because we're still doing the original games, but it's a completely different meta shift. Like we're just tackling things completely differently.
That way I could throw way more attempts at the night instead of having to wait through death screens. At this high of a speed, my aim had to get a lot better to consistently reach the door button in time. And after I managed to do that enough times in a row, I had to add in the tiniest possible delay between reaching the door button and opening the door. Then, on the very first frame that it was actionable, click the light to pull this off. Oh my god, I got it. Finally, dude. Holy shit. That took like an hour to do.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, attempting something like that for an hour
Finally,
sounds way more strenuous than like other things, you know what I
There we
mean?
go, 420
Actually sounds
there.
horrible.
And with that, we had reached what I believe to be FNAF 1's max mode speed up barrier, at 10 times speed. Beyond this speed, at least from my testing, it seemed like there weren't any actionable frames to click the light in order to initiate the Foxy glitch. But if you guys think you found any strats, or have managed to pull off this glitch on any higher speeds, let me know down in the comments below.
I wonder how many times people come up with like things to beat what he's talking about. Because like, apparently the challenge community, it's quite thriving, you know? Like there are people that are just like Bones, potentially even better, right? So, you know, it's not like he's talking to the void, I guess is what I'm saying. Like there are people that are just like, oh yeah, like, oh, you know, I could actually look into that, you know?
And while you're at it, please consider subscribing to both this channel and my second one. It helps me out more than anything else and allows me to keep making these videos for you guys.
That being said, of course, it is very cool to have someone like Bones and essentially just people that really are just like pretty much the best at what they do, though. You know, it's why like, you know, professional players at video games and stuff like that will inherently get, you know, pretty solid viewership if like they stream, you know, their main game. Because it's just like they are the best. They do things the best. They know things the best. So, you know, whatever Bones is trying here, I would say like 90% of the time it is pretty much genuinely maxed out. It's not like some random guy that like definitely isn't doing things min-maxed. Bones is absolutely trying his hardest, and he is one of the most skilled of all time. Hi Frank. Great first message, love you, bro.
It's completely free, but of course, only do so if you're enjoying the video thus far. Now, let's get back to it. We found FNAF 1's true limit using glitches, but I was still struggling to figure out where the legitimate limit was. It would be really cool to have both be on multiples of 5, a 5 times multiplier legitimately, and a 10 times multiplier with the use of glitches. But man, trying to pull off 420 at 5 times
Ooh,
speed
Danganronpa
glitchless
music.
was an absolute RNG nightmare. As I said before, the main issue with 420 mode at this speed is Bonnie and Chica arriving at your doors at the same time. If this happens, there is literally nothing you can do. So the first step to attempting this was to figure out how to minimize those situations.
Did not know why the body was there.
Chica not
I don't
arriving
know,
at the
I'm just
doors at the
fucking
same
random
time.
character.
I decided the best way of doing this would be to do some field research and figure out how often Bonnie and Chica would be attacking our doors throughout an average night. So I coded in both Bonnie and Chica's movement paths into a simulation using C++. Once their paths were mapped out, I took the total night length in seconds and divided it by Bonnie and Chica's movement intervals to get the total number of movements for a night. Once that was done, I just had to record the amount of times Bonnie and Chica arrived at the doors per night, then average them across all simulated nights. With the program complete, I ran the program over 100 million simulated nights, and the results were actually pretty interesting. Despite both Bonnie and Chica being set to 20 AI, Bonnie on average would arrive at the left door approximately 16 times per night, while Chica would only arrive at the right door 8 times per night, half as frequent as Bonnie.
Wow.
Now, why is Chica so much less frequent than Bonnie? Well, once you look at their movement paths expressed as directed graphs, it makes a bit more sense. In order to reach the door, Bonnie can choose to either go through camera 3 or camera 2B, whereas Chica only has one camera she can reach the door from, camera 4B. So what does this mean for our strategy?
Oh, okay,
well,
I see,
it
I
means that we
see.
can gamble a bit more efficiently when we're trying to survive a possible sync-up. A small optimization you can make in FNAF 1 strategies to save some power is occasionally skipping checking the lights when you know it's safe to do so. With our existing strategy, the only case where this is useful is right after Bonnie attacks our door. Once Bonnie leaves, he's guaranteed to not be back.
Yeah, see, this is why I can't make videos like that, though. If I had to do a simulator with, like, a million attempts, I would literally do it by hand, and I would do it a million times, so it would take the video, you know, 5 years to come out. I remember, one time, I remember there was like a trend where it was like, you know those videos where, like, it gives you, like, the time progression of, I mean, let me just give you an example, right? It'll be like from the year, you know, 1900 to 2026, like the chess players with the highest elo, and then like it's like a graph bar, and like it goes by every year, and like the play, like people like pop up and then go down, and like the numbers rise and fall of like whoever's like number one on the chart, and like, you know what I'm talking about? I assume you probably know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to do one for like, what was I gonna do? It was like, oh yeah, it was like most popular waifus like of all time. And I was like literally like, I was like searching up every single, I was like Google searching every single waifu. So I would do like Aqua from Konosuba, and then I would type in like Aqua Konosuba, and then I would type in like Konosuba Aqua, and then I would type in like Konosuba Rashi wa Subida, whatever the fucking full name is, Aqua, and like I would like keyword every single variant, and then like add every single variant together, and then like Wayback Machine, and like do the same thing for every single year, and like there's like a way to data pool, and I was just like literally doing everything myself with Google searching, which isn't even accurate in the first place. Okay. Basically, I tried to do that shit for like, I don't know, maybe like 3 months, and I put probably like 100 hours into it, and I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever decided to do. I'm never doing it again.
At the door.
I just quit.
Until 3 intervals have passed, which I just measure out as 3 camera flips. This might not seem like a big deal, but this is absolutely huge for us. If we know Bonnie has no chance of returning to the door in 3 intervals, and Chica happens to show up in camera 4B anytime in these—
I was genuinely curious. I was so curious. I was like, I wanted to know, and there wasn't a video like that. So I was like, let me just make my own. And then I was like, this is horrible. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's terrible.
These first 3 flips after Bonnie leaves, we can safely move over to the right door, close it, flip twice, open it, then move over to Bonnie's door as fast as possible to catch him if he happens to bomb rush our office. We don't check the lights here, as scrolling over to the right side of the office is already a massive time waster. And since we know that Chica can only get to our door through camera 4B, shutting the door as soon as possible is our #1 priority. As long as you're fast enough, this should always result in you successfully dealing with a synchronized attack, so long as Chica arrives after Bonnie. However, if Chica arrives in camera 4B before Bonnie has attacked, you're just going to have to pray. Once in cam 4B, Chica has a 50% chance to move to your door and a 50% chance to move backwards. It's going to be less risky to just take the 1 in 2 chance and hope that Chica moves back instead of scrolling over to the right side of the screen and hoping for the best with Bonnie, since we've already determined that Bonnie is nearly twice as frequent as Chica when it comes to door attacks. So if we're going to gamble on one, gamble on Chica. In short, we only want to go and deal with Chica if we've just seen Bonnie at the door and dealt with him. Otherwise, try and gamble with the 1 in 2 chance that Chica moves back from camera 4B into the upper half of the map. This is about as consistent as we can get with—
Dude, he is juicing everything out of FNAF 1 right here. This is crazy.
With Bonnie and Chica, and as I was playing more and more, I began to notice another problem on the particularly lucky runs. Foxy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but just looking at this footage, it seems like I'm pulling up the cameras frequently enough for Foxy to be locked constantly.
Oh my god, that actually does look crazy.
Looking at this footage, it seems like I'm pulling up the cameras frequently enough for Foxy to be locked constantly.
Bro, like why is... I feel like it doesn't need to look that insane, but I love that it does.
Looking at this footage, It seems like I'm pulling up the cameras frequently enough for Foxy to be locked constantly.
So
But it
bad.
appears that this isn't the case. Like Bonnie and Chica, Foxy has a movement interval that is approximately 5 seconds, with each successful movement resulting in him progressing in Pirate's Cove. But Foxy's additional mechanic, where he's stalled upon pulling up the cameras, is what has a bit more randomness. When the cameras are pulled up, Foxy rolls a random amount of time, anywhere from 0.83 seconds to 17.48 seconds. Throughout this time period, Foxy will fail all subsequent movement opportunities, preventing him from progressing. This does create a bit of a problem for us. If Foxy rolls a super low lock window, like 1 to 2 seconds, that's only about 0.3 seconds for us. And if that window happens to desync with Foxy's movement intervals, there's pretty much nothing we can do to stop him from progressing. Foxy was especially punishing when it came to dealing with Bonnie and Chica's sync-ups. If I got the situation where Chica happened to arrive in camera 4B after dealing with Bonnie, I'd move over to Chica's door while flipping the cameras for Foxy, close the right door, flip twice, then instantly snap back to the left light before flipping again. This means that if Bonnie happened to be at the left door right as we were getting back from the right side of the office, we'd do a full office scroll, light check, and door close all between camera flips, which really stretches Foxy's timer, and in most cases causes him to move. For example, in this clip here, we go a full 1.05 seconds without pulling up the cameras, which adjusted to normal speed is 5.25 seconds, more than enough time for Foxy to progress. There wasn't really much that I could do other than hope and pray with Foxy. Either we got really lucky with his
I literally just can't stop looking at the face cam now.
time interval being on the larger side throughout most of the night, or if he did attack, he would happen to attack when we had the left door shut for Bonnie. Hours and hours of attempts passed. I had some attempts that showed a glimmer of hope, but always fell short to either a Bonnie and Chica sync up or some Foxy RNG. We needed both to get the challenge done, and it was proving more and more unlikely as time went on. I had been attempting 420 mode at 5 times speed for 10 hours now, and doing the same repetitive motion of pulling up the cameras and
Sounds
checking the left lights at this speed was really starting to wear out my wrist and arm. I know I've done plenty of challenges that require more speed than this, and you can even argue I had to endure more wrist pain from beating 420 mode in real time, but the fact that it was just the same repetitive motion over and over again led to a lot of strain on my muscles. And I found that my session lengths for specifically this challenge had to be cut short a lot of the time due to fatigue. Eventually, after 17.5 hours of praying for good luck, I started up one more attempt.
Bro, how is this in real time? I'm rewinding again. What's amazing, what is also amazing about this video specifically is he doesn't need to speed up his footage and like cut up his gameplay. Like he essentially just showed us the entire night without having to edit at all, which is honestly amazing because it's really hard to show like the strife and like working through it and like how tight the run is when you have to edit things down so much. This you literally just see the whole thing. Wow.
I think that's it. Oh my god, bro.
Finally, it was over. I know for how long I was playing this, my reaction was a little bit underwhelming, but hey, my girlfriend just came in the room in a cosplay for the Digital Circus movie, and all I'm saying, I got my priorities straight, you know what I mean? Like, now, since I had finally gotten a successful run, I was really curious as to how crazy the art.
Bro, did she just come back from literally the live showing? She probably did, right? What the fuck?
RNG needed to be in this run in order for it to result in a win. Remember that I have always had
Now I see why he doesn't watch VTubers, man. He learned about us and he's like, yeah, bro, I don't care, whatever, it's fine, they can just do what they want. Dude, he's staying loyal to his girlfriend. He can't be slipping.
bad luck in situations that mattered the most. So let's see how good my luck was here. The main RNG factor
Jealous? I mean, yeah. Who the fuck wouldn't be jealous? Got the fucking Fortnite Pomni cosplay.
factors to examine here have to do with Chica. We want to know the chances of both her attack frequency and the chances that she leaves me alone when I happen to gamble on Bonnie being here instead of her. In this run, Chica showed up in camera 4B a total of 13 times, with 4 of those times
Yeah, Pomni, did you not see that she's caked up in Fortnite? Dude, she is caked up.
being right after a Bonnie attack, allowing us to successfully block her. If we change Chica's target in the FNAF 1 simulation to camera 4B instead of the right door, we see the chance of Chica reaching camera 4B 13 times or less throughout an entire night is around 24%. Then we need to factor in Chica deciding to leave me alone during 9 of the 13 attacks where we had to risk death to prioritize Bonnie, which comes out to a 14% chance. Multiplying those odds together and we get a full night RNG of about 1 in 30, which honestly
Baby, get me so horny when you do FNAF math.
seems pretty low for the amount of attempts that I had to throw at this challenge. Then again though, Foxy did miraculously hit the door while we had it closed for a Bonnie attack, so I'm sure that was pretty rare and added a good bit of RNG to our win. Regardless, I was happy that I could finally put FNAF 1 to rest, ending on 2 clean multiples of 5 for total speed up, with 420 being possible at 5 times speed glitchless and 10 times speed with glitches. Now we can move on to our next game, FNAF.
Do you think he had a girlfriend during Hopeless Pursuit, though? Like, he literally, like, would have had to tell his girlfriend that I'm not available to talk for 3 months. It's just, like, just so insane.
FNAF 2. Coming off of FNAF 1, I was a bit scared for FNAF 2, and as you'll come to see, that was more than justified. As many of you may know, 1020 mode in FNAF 2 has had arguably the most strategy development out of all of the mainline max modes. It's gone from one of the hardest challenges in the games to one of the most consistent and easiest. The only problem with that is that all of the consistency in FNAF 2's modern strategies comes from the usage of external timers to track exactly where you are within the night.
Correct. So we're gonna have to develop literally a whole new strategy.
In many of these strategies, you only have a split-second window to execute a movement in order to maintain the cycle, and failure to do so will either result in a straight-up death or slowly bleeding progress with the puppet and the music box. There are many strategies for 1020 mode, probably more than any of the other vanilla max modes, but currently the most optimized and in general
Shout out to One Shot, by the way. A great game. I could probably play it again. I honestly forget a lot of it, but I remember it being amazing.
best strategy for 1020 mode is the Brayden strat. This strategy finds a good balance between skill and RNG, with it heavily reducing lethal RNG while not requiring too much skill. This strategy takes advantage of a cool discovery with the flashlight in FNAF 2, that being that you can actually flash Foxy in the hallway through a blackout if you buffer the flashlight input while you're still in the cameras. It's important to be wary of exactly when to do this though. This strategy hinges on you perfectly balancing 2 characters, Foxy and Golden Freddy. Both characters are tied to 5-second intervals. Golden Freddy has an AI and 20 chance to spawn on every 5-second interval that you're in the cameras, and though Foxy's kill timer counts up by 1 every second, his kill equation is only checked on every 5-second interval, meaning flashing him before a 5-second interval will refresh his kill timer and prevent him from entering his kill state. Golden Freddy will jump scare us if we use the flashlight anytime that he's spawned in. So we have to ensure that we never have the cameras up over a 5-second interval no matter what, since we're going to be flashing on the first available frame once the cameras are dropped in order to flash through the blackout. This allows you to wind the music box for much longer in comparison to other strategies, nearly 5 full seconds. And because of that, you now have extra time to implement another technique, Toy Bonnie stalling. Toy Bonnie is the only animatronic in FNAF 2 that can end our runs because of luck. However, he can't enter the vent while the vent light is on. So, leaving the vent light on over his possible entry times stalls him and reduces the total number of Toy Bonnie occurrences throughout the night. This sounds great so far. FNAF 1 was an absolute nightmare with RNG, and if we can utilize a strategy that is nearly 99% skill-based, it shouldn't be too difficult to climb the speed ladder. Though, there was a bit of a problem. Since all of these strategies require a timer in order to pull off, how are we going to get the timer to sync up with our game? At first I thought I would have to retrain myself to internally multiply whatever the current time is on my timer whenever
No way. So right now he's like, oh yeah, in real time, he's going to be like, oh yeah, 10 seconds, 8 milliseconds. That's actually, like 21.6. Oh God.
Reddit. So an interval
I can't even do that with like a free 15 seconds of time.
Was actually a 5
think about
interval at 2 times speed and so on. But there was a much easier solution to this. Though Cheat Engine is mostly used for games, you can speed hack pretty much anything with it.
Blanca, no.
Cheat Engine can recognize every single executable that is currently running on your computer, including itself. So if you want,
I was thinking about downloading JoJo for my plane flight to Japan and back. I did not. I ended up watching Apoca 3 Diaries and what's that one where it's a movie that came out kind of recently. It's like boys running track and stuff. I already forget the name of it. Watch those instead. And the first Star Wars movie because I've never seen Star Wars. I have watched the first, so I watched part 1 and 2, 100 meters, yeah. No, I've seen part 1 and 2 of JoJo, but I've not started part 3 yet, and I really should because I know I'd like it. I already thought part 1 and 2 were fire. I actually really liked part 1 quite a lot, and I've heard that people in general consider that easily one of the weakest parts. So, yeah, I got to get to it.
You can even have Cheat Engine speed hack itself.
And obviously we got Steel Ball Run now and shit. I got multiple friends that are like pretty obsessed with it too. Yeah, I know a lot of people like part 3. A lot of people like what, part 7 or something? I don't know, I forget. JoJo used to be like such mainstream talk. Now it's kind of went to like mostly just like you got to be like a part of the community or to really be yapping about it now. But it was mainstream culture for a while.
This doesn't do anything, but hey, it's neat. Anyway, this is important to us because now we can just have 2 instances of Cheat Engine open, one that's attached to our game and one that's attached to our timer. As long as we set them both to the same multiplier, we'll have an equally sped up timer to match our sped up game. With this new discovery, it was on to 1020 mode, and I figured I'd start off the same way that I did in FNAF 1, 2 times speed. Almost immediately as I started 1020 mode on 2 times speed, I realized that FNAF 2 was going to be a lot more difficult, skill-wise at least, compared to FNAF 1. Every single strategy on FNAF 2 follows a simple loop.
I mean, 2 does seem...
seconds, then execute a short burst of input.
At least times 2 already seems pretty hard for FNAF 2. Times 2 for FNAF 1 seemed like kind of a cakewalk. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, how hard are you gonna get with FNAF 2? I don't know, maybe you do times 5 as well. I'm curious.
Then go back to waiting and repeat. For example, in the Braden strat, you wind the music box for around 4 seconds, then once your timer is half a second away from a 5-second interval, you have to buffer the flashlight with control, flick off of the music box button to drop the cameras, move the mouse up and down again as fast as possible to put on the mask, then do the blackout. All of these inputs are executed one after another extremely quickly.
Whoa.
And the more we increase the speed of the night, the smaller the execution window will become. Thankfully, at 2 times speed, this is still pretty manageable. And within a few tries,
that still
I was
seems
able to get a
really
win.
fast.
The real challenge began once we moved up to 3 times speed.
This already seems maybe the cap, yeah.
3 times speed.
Yeah.
If 5 times speed was the hard wall for FNAF 1, 3 times speed is the respective wall for FNAF 2. It's got all the same things: carpal tunnel inducing movements, insanely precise timings, and a whole bunch of RNG. The only difference is, skill-wise, it's way harder. I'm just gonna play what roughly 7 seconds of gameplay looks like at 3 times speed.
Please do.
It's pretty funny to watch.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, he should have 100% inserted Markiplier freakout moments as like his little memes here, because he loves to do that with like putting like different FNAF. Dude, it would be so good if he inserted some Markiplier freakout moments when he was doing his run. Oh my god, it would hit so good right now. Just imagine Markiplier noises over this right now.
Like FNAF 1, at this level of speed, there are some aspects of our strategy that just fall apart. The first problem that I immediately noticed was how fast that I would bleed music box progress between cycles. You see, in the Braden strat, the closer you can cut your camera flips to Foxy's interval, the more music box wind time you'll get.
Excuse me, the Braden strat? Come on, bro. Whoops,
As our game speed gets faster and faster, it's harder and harder to hit these windows. Not only because
it does kind of look like Bones has like a baby arm, but his baby arm has a giant hand attached to it. You are right about that. It does really look like that, yeah.
As our timer is moving so fast, but more so that I physically just can't move my arm as quickly as I would like to when flicking to put on the cameras and put on the mask, or pull up the cameras and snap to the wind box button.
Dude, the angle is so
I thought that I
cursed.
could maybe change my strategy a bit to avoid these precise timings in the Braden strat. The strategy that preceded—
And because like his top body and head is like so chill, it looks like his hand is like, it looks like he has like Tourette's on top of it or something. Like his hand is like spasming like crazy and he can't control it. Hey, Axe.
Braden strat, the Shooter 25 strat still used a timer, but didn't feature Toy Bonnie stalling or flashing through blackouts. You'd simply pull up the cameras, wind for 7 ticks of the music box, then pull them down and repeat. However, this strategy has a lot more room for RNG and weird cases. One such weird case is when the blackout animatronics decide to force your camera down, which they can do when you're in the cameras over a 10-second interval. Normally, you're always pulling the cameras down, then immediately putting the mask on, essentially pre-firing the blackout animatronic and—
Mo? He just inserted a Mo clip from Counter-Strike Go? Dude, holy shit, this guy knows ball. That is so crazy. Chicken fucking coop! It's crazy.
animatronic in your office. But in this—
He's fucking cheating! Dude, how are you not gonna leave in the moment where he actually says, he's fucking cheating? I know that exact clip, literally. Fucking swag.
Mask on, essentially pre-firing the blackout animatronic in your office. But in this case, you have to react to the cameras being pulled down. The time that you have to react scales with the night number, and on 1020 mode, you only have 0.75 seconds to have the mask fully on before the blackout animatronic is flagged to jump scare you. Considering that the animation to throw on the mask is 9 frames,
God, like, why can't Bones have, like, DMs open? I want to DM him on Twitter and be like, bro, I watch all of your videos. I love Super Smash Bros. Melee. I love Counter-Strike. Can we just, like... Well, don't take that the wrong direction. I understand you have a girlfriend, but can we just, like... You know what I'm saying?
that gives you 0.6 seconds to react at 1 times speed, 0.3 seconds at 2 times speed, and 0.2 seconds at 3 times speed. Now, personally, I have a reaction
Guys, I just said, don't take it that way.
time of around 150 milliseconds.
That's
but
fucking
I was never
fast.
able to move my mouse enough to catch a blackout animatronic in time. The shooter strat also happens to have another reactionary situation occur more, when you drop the cameras after winding and there's no blackout. On the surface, you might think this is a good thing. With no blackout, we don't have to slam our arm down and risk missing that precise input sequence. But in reality,
I will say though, like, human benchmark test is like kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't mean that much, because I will tell you, human benchmark test works exactly the same as like any other video game or just like thing. which is that which what I mean by is like the more you do it, the better you will get at it. So like if you just pull up human benchmark test and do it, you'll probably get like 200 milliseconds around. But if you continue to do it and grind it for multiple days, your time will continue to go down. Like I remember, like I started at 200 and I actually got to the top 10 in the weekly or monthly leaderboard. Like you have to do 5 different like benchmarks to get like an average to prove that it's not like fluky-ish. And I think I ended up getting 123 or like 121 out of my 5 attempts, like averaged together, and it put me on the top 10 leaderboard. But like I don't actually have that reaction speed though.
Blackout animatronics actually do a lot for us on 1020 mode. You might have noticed that over the course of this entire video, I've never once went over to check the left vent like you might have seen in some older 1020 videos. Well,
of course,
in
now
this
he does
case,
it.
1020 with some pretty big quotation marks, but you get the idea, old strategies. Well, one of the first big discoveries in FNAF 2 1020 mode was the fact that standard vent characters will always leave if you have the mask on for 5 full seconds. Blackouts from the withered animatronics and Toy Freddy last 5 seconds. But because you take time to pull down the cameras and put on the mask, pulling up the mask as soon as possible will cause these vent characters to stay in place and not leave with the blackout animatronic. So, by slightly delaying the action of pulling up the mask, you can guarantee that whenever a blackout occurs, Mangle, Toy Chica, and Balloon Boy will never be present once the blackout is over. Since the left vent only contains regular vent animatronics, we have no reason to ever check it the entire night, unless we drop the cameras and don't get a blackout. If this happens on 3 times speed and you have a regular vent animatronic in the left vent, it's GG, you lost. By the time you've scrolled the screen over to the left, seen the vent character, and put the mask on for 5 full seconds, your box will be pretty much gone and you'll be totally offset with the cycle. This scenario is far less common in the Braden strat than the shooter strat, as the Braden strat has more downtime in the office, allowing blackout characters to stack up in a nice queue for us. And since the shooter strat provides no real advantage in high precision movement sequences, I decided to stick with the Braden strat. This means that we have to endure 2 cases of RNG, praying that Toy Bonnie doesn't show up in the right vent so we can recover our bleeding music box, and if there's no blackout and no Toy Bonnie in the vent, pray that no left vent animatronics also happen to be waiting for us. It would be cool to get the exact chances for things like this happening, but I wasn't really sure if I was able to make any simulations for FNAF 2, just because there's so much user input and variance in our strategy. Whereas in FNAF 1, we were pretty much relying on characters not reaching a certain point a given amount of times. Even still, the RNG that I was relying on didn't seem to be all that bad, at least in comparison to FNAF 1. Within about an hour of playtime, I had almost gotten to 5 minutes on my timer, or about 4:30 AM in game, and that run didn't feel like it was a super lucky outlier, so I just pushed on and tried to hone my speed a bit more. But man, pulling the cameras down and putting the mask on in time consistently was proving really difficult. This sequence of movements is so hard. I don't know if this is because I'm just a low sensitivity player, but I felt like sometimes when I would try to quickly move my mouse up and down in time with the cameras dropping, my brain would short circuit and my muscles would tense and spaz out a bit. Typically, I do this motion with my fingertips in normal gameplay, but I just couldn't generate enough force to move the mouse fast enough with just my fingertips on 3 times speed. I had to use my arm, and it was really hard to—
Are you guys palm, claw, or I don't even know what the other grip is. There's like 3 grips, right? I'm kind of a claw user, which is weird because I feel like I kind of move my mouse around like a boomer a little bit, but I do a little like fingertips for sure.
Move my arm that fast with such a short cursor path. In one of my recordings, I was moving my arm so violently that you can literally hear my mic shaking in its boom arm on my desk. Not only do you need to be extremely fast, you still have to hit a precise window. You see, the button to put the mask on doesn't appear until the cameras have fully been pulled down, and it won't reappear until you've moved your mouse off of it again. So, if you happen to be the tiniest bit too early, you'll end up missing the hitbox and dying. If you happen to be the tiniest bit late, you'll also die to the blackout animatronics reaction timer running out. And I don't know what it is about dying in this specific way, but it is absolutely infuriating. This summer, I've really been trying to keep myself in check with anger in order to get better mentally, as Tilt is known known to decrease performance when it comes to video games. How that went is a story for another video, but this right here was the ultimate.
That's so funny. He never striked me as like a person that like really raged at video games. That's interesting. Dude, he should make a video about that. That's so funny. Man, dude, and he bashes his head against these challenges while getting like super pissed off. That's actually crazy.
Rage test. You know what? This.
What? What?
The best way that I found to keep my muscles.
I am so shocked right now. Those jabs genuinely looks kind of ferocious. What the hell? Damn.
In check was to count out my flicks. When I would drop the cameras, I would count 1, 2 for the flick to drop and the flick to put the mask on. This was somewhat effective, but only if I was able to get my eyes focused on my mouse in time. Since the timer was moving so fast at 3 times speed, I almost never had any time to look away from it. So in situations where I was constantly spamming recovery wines after a Toy Bonnie attack, it was really hard to keep my aim in check. Easily harder than FNAF 1's 420 mode at 5 times speed when looking at it purely from a skill perspective.
Still can't get over that.
It's a bit hard to calculate exactly how precise this movement is, but we can use the frames of each.
Tell you what though, does it not seem like a good option to do that when like you're talking about, oh dude, like my carpal tunnel, my hands, my repetitive strain injury, ouchie, and then you're just slamming your fists into a punching bag.
Animation to get a rough idea. The camera animation is 11 frames, and the mask animation is 9 frames. If we convert those to seconds and speed them up by 3 times, we get 0.06 seconds for the cameras and 0.05 seconds.
It was mostly sound effects to make it seem impressive. Really? I thought it was real. I feel like it is real. No. You're being a doubter right now. I'm a believer.
For the mask. We know that blackout animatronics give you 0.75 seconds to react on night 7 at normal speed, so speeding that up by 3 times gets us 0.25 seconds. However, this kill timer is only avoided once the mask is fully on, so we subtract the 0.05.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying, yeah. Okay, no, sound effects means though that he's putting things in post-production. No, I agree that the material of the punching bag and the gloves he was using is just gonna make it like pop loud anyway. Yes, agreed. But it's not sound effects. Like he's not adding it in post-production.
5 seconds from the mask to get 0.2 seconds. This means that once you pull the cameras down, you have to perfectly judge and wait for 0.06 seconds, then put the mask on within 0.14 seconds to survive the attack. And you need to do this every time you pull the cameras down. I was starting to realize the more I played this that, dude, this is hard, like really hard. Usually there's 2 types of FNAF videos on this channel: deep dives and technical investigations into the vanilla games, or brutally hard mechanical challenges in FNAF fan games. Occasionally, you get an intersection of the 2, and that's where we are today. I had put so many attempts into this challenge that I didn't get not 1, but 2 insanely rare Easter eggs. The Paper Pals and Shadow Bonnie. That's a 1 in 16,000 for Shadow Bonnie and a 1 in 2,000 for the Paper Pals. If you want a better idea of how hard this really is, anyone remember Ye Girl from the One Night at Frogger's video? The character that carried the entire cast? Her timings are within 0.2 seconds, and sometimes even 0.3 seconds. And those are clicks, not mouse movements. Way easier to time and pull off.
What am I watching right now? What is this? What is this game? Send to my T-hole? Excuse me, what? Descend into my T-hole.
And remember, Frogger's is 100% skill-based. We're still dealing with the load of bullshit we get from the Toy Bonnie and Puppet combo.
Oh my god, dude, that actually scared me.
Since day 1, since the dawn of this fucking channel.
Sometimes I'd have runs that were RNG miracles, and the nerves from getting so far would cause me to miss a mask flip. Other times, the
Well, that is personally the thing that would really screw with me with this challenge, is that, like, if I pulled something off, I feel like I would need a second to breathe. And in normally in a FNAF game, no matter how hard the challenge, you at least have like a second to collect yourself. But in this, like, you literally always have to be moving. And that just sounds like impossible to me, to be honest.
Toy Bonnie and Puppet combo would get me, since it was nearly impossible to keep a full box throughout the night.
Because, like, even when I was, like, really good at Osu and I was grinding Osu, dude, like, so many times I would, like, pause a map halfway through just to, like, collect myself for a second.
Just like FNAF 1, trying to balance Toy Bonnie and Puppet became another gambling game. When the music box runs out, the Puppet begins progressing out of the prize corner, having a 3 in 4 chance to do so every second. Even if you catch her and get the box wound back up, that progress will stay, making the next Toy Bonnie attack much more dangerous. Usually, unless I get perfect Toy Bonnie RNG and he enters the office instantly, Puppet will progress a bit due to taking off the mask and pulling up the cameras at 3 times speed. Once this happens, I know that I need to prioritize the box more, so I go for more recovery winds at the expense of a possible Toy Bonnie jump scare. I had gotten nearly 6 minutes, and with FNAF 2 nights lasting 7 minutes, I knew it was possible. I just had to get the luck that I needed and master control over my flicks to finally get it done.
Again, in real time. To be honest, this kind of looks doable because the cycle is quite short with the way we're doing it. Anchor. Oh my god! What?
God.
He got jump scared in the same frame.
Bro. God. Oh my god. That was literally 3 minutes into attempts today. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Yes, dude. Maybe it was all mental. Maybe
We're not
going to
talk about that?
Just anger. I hit every single one. Every single 0.15 second timing. Holy shit. No struggle at all. Toy Bonnie was blessed, bro. We are done with this bullshit. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was way less RNG dependent versus FNAF 1 though. He fakes it like Mark. Damn, dude, this is the new age, dude. This is new age Bones. This is the newest video. I mean, we just don't know what he's capable of now. I mean, apparently he's capable of anger and punching the shit out of a punching bag.
Going into FNAF 2, I had no idea that I was walking into one of the hardest skill-based vanilla challenges I'd ever attempted. If I were to rank this on the AML, I'd estimate it to be around top 200, which these days is actually pretty crazy considering how tough the list is getting. There's a similar challenge in the FNAF 3 Monstergami night, where you have to be so precise with tracking him that it prevents him from ever walking around the room. Just like this mode, short but brutally difficult. And having beaten both, I'd put this above. And that could still be underrating the mode, since I have so much experience playing the vanilla games in all of these wacky ways. But just know, this was a tough one. Now the question becomes, can we push this any further? Well, I tried some attempts with the same strategy on 4 times speed, but it didn't look realistically possible. You just bleed too much music box time between camera flips. And if Toy Bonnie shows up at all, simply having to check the vent and react to him wastes an insane amount of time. But could we use any glitches to maybe make this possible? Well, there's only one major glitch in FNAF 2 that we can use to our advantage. In FNAF 1, we had our camera monitor selected on camera 4B in order to prevent Freddy from entering our office. This is what's known as cam stalling, and it's a staple of the series,
Mr. Hodge.
appearing in many of the games.
Mr. Hodge.
Withered Freddy in FNAF 2 inherits this property from his FNAF 1 counterpart. So if you have his camera selected, he'll always be frozen in place until you click off of his camera. Though in FNAF 2, cam stalling is even better than in FNAF 1, as it doesn't just apply to Freddy, it applies to Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica as well. Since all of these characters start in the parts and service room, by selecting that camera the entire night, we would permanently stall.
Oh my
all
god,
of
I didn't
them,
realize they
making
all
Toy
start
Freddy
there.
the only remaining blackout character. Though there's one big problem with this. If we're on the parts and service camera, we can't wind the box in the prize corner, and we'll die to puppet pretty quickly. This is where our glitch comes
very
in.
quickly.
You see, the game only
Quez.
saves what camera you're selected on every 0.2 seconds. So if you select a different camera, then drop the camera monitor before this save runs, you'll be on 2 cameras at once. This would allow us to both stall the animatronics in parts and service and wind the music box. I thought this would be our key to getting to some higher speed ups, as the blackout characters were our biggest concern throughout most of the 3x speed journey. But I realized that unfortunately this won't work for us. Pulling off this glitch in real time already requires
Extremely
you to move your mouse
difficult,
insanely
yeah.
fast. But in 4x speed, we have to go from clicking the parts and service camera to dropping the cameras in 0.05 seconds. And
Oh, that's never
assuming that we
happening.
get a
It's
perfect
never
interval
happening.
lineup. We have no idea where we are within a given 0.2 second interval, so 0.05 seconds is the absolute best case scenario. I tried to get this to work for a bit, and I couldn't seem to get it. Maybe one of you guys can, but from my testing, this glitch isn't going to raise our limit any higher.
Well, the thing is that he's literally clicking and stopping and then moving over to the next one and clicking. You would have to do it to where you're just doing one fluid motion where you're moving your arm across the monitor and you're just like getting seamless clicks, basically like you're doing like a stream in Osu, which is just like, I mean, you might luckily hit that literally one time, but I mean, that's just so incredibly hard.
Bringing our total max speed up for FNAF 2 1020 mode to 3x speed. With 2 brutal nights under our belt, we can move on to what might be the most unorthodox game.
If it's literally in 0.005, I think it's just literally impossible regardless. The thing is, to me though, that number seems wrong though, because we're in ×3, or was he in ×4? I don't know what times he was doing, but like, let's just say it was ×4. That means it's what? It's 0.02 seconds normally. That already sounds like extremely difficult. I don't know. Obviously, I trust his math, but that just seems ridiculous, even in ×1.
For this challenge, FNAF 3 and its max mode, Nightmare Aggressive only. Oh, FNAF 3. See, this was going to be a very weird one for this challenge, and out of all of the games we've played so far, it was by far the game that I was the least excited for. Why? Well, it has to do with how crucial of a factor luck is in FNAF 3. You see, I've done multiple videos where I alter the randomness in each FNAF max mode and observe how large the difficulty spread
I
can
feel like
get
FNAF 3
between
will be
best
the easiest,
possible luck
though.
and the
You're tracking
worst.
one
When I was
guy.
analyzing each game's max mode with the best possible luck, FNAF 3 was unique in that you could beat its max mode, Nightmare with the aggressive cheat on, by doing absolutely nothing. Given good enough luck, Springtrap is never interested in you and just decides to bounce between cameras in the back half of the map. At high speeds, we can throw attempts at these games much faster. And since FNAF 3 can be beaten by doing literally nothing, what does that make our theoretical maximum speed up? Well,
Really
it's
fast.
infinite. That is, if we can actually get a run where we win by doing absolutely nothing.
Dude, pull a
Nightmare
chicken
Aggressive
ninja.
only while AFK has been a sort of limit for FNAF RNG as a whole. Though it is theoretically possible, sometimes that isn't enough. Sure, something can theoretically happen, like me walking through a wall due to quantum tunneling, but the chance of that actually happening is so low that in reality, it's still impossible. We need to not only know that it's possible, but that it's realistically possible. FNAF 3 is particularly difficult for this, as up until now, the RNG for things like Nightmare
There's got to be a guy out there that just is spam trying quantum tunneling, though, right? Like, there's someone out there that is just like trying that every single day, right?
Nightmare Aggressive Only No Cameras and Nightmare Aggressive Only AFK have been pretty much uncalculable. For example, let's compare Nightmare Aggressive
Is it possible to just get like the babiest little tip of your finger in there, like, and that's it, maybe for like a millisecond, and then it comes out?
Only while doing nothing to a similar RNG challenge, beating FNAF 1 while doing absolutely nothing. When beating the main game of FNAF 1 while doing nothing, you only have to worry about one character, Foxy.
The thing is that it might not come out. I mean, that would be good because then you would know that it worked. Or it probably would come out, but it would like literally pull like the skin off of your pinky and you would start bleeding. So then you would also know, right? I don't know.
Since the other three require a camera flip to get into attack or initiate their jump scare. So we can just use a bit of math to calculate the chance that Foxy never progresses out of Pirate's Cove and reaches our office door before the night ends. Foxy has the highest AI on night 4, so if we just lowball his AI for the entire night at 6, calculate the total number of movement opportunities in a night, and adjust for the 20 seconds that Foxy takes to go from stage 3 in Pirate's Cove to our door, we get a result of 1 in 6 trillion. From this mathematical analysis, we can safely say that this is not realistically possible, and it would be a waste of time to ever go for it. But how would we mathematically analyze FNAF 3? Sure, we have Springtrap and we have his movement equation, but once you get to actually writing it out, things get too complex too fast. Where is Springtrap gonna spawn as his starting camera? Then what path does he take? What's the chance of him going down this path, or this path? It becomes far too complicated to perform a simple mathematical analysis on, whereas a character like Foxy, who's really just a timer, can be easily predicted with math. In cases where we can't rely on statistics, we have to put in a bit more effort if we want to get some accurate values. The only way to truly get an estimation of FNAF 3's RNG is to recode FNAF 3 in a different language. If I could get a good estimation of how rare an AFK run of FNAF 3 truly is, and it was realistically possible, we might be able to prove that FNAF 3 can be beaten with an infinite speedup. So I got to work. First, we needed to find every single aspect of FNAF 3 that mattered to our AFK strat, so anything to do with Springtrap's movement chances, and how he decides where to go within the building. Then any other outside factors that might alter the RNG that we can't control. Once I had all of my equations, it was time to choose a suitable language to recode this in. Usually I use Python for these kind of tests, but since we're going to be testing a massive amount of nights in order to get a realistic probability, I instead went with C++. Though it might be harder to code initially, using a compiled language that can be more optimized would likely lead to faster data gathering overall. Then I wrote out both Springtrap's movement equation and his adjacency map. This was particularly tedious as not only is Springtrap's movement one of the most complex out of any animatronic really, but also the way in which he chooses his next location to move to on a successful movement is really specific. It's all centered around this action selected variable, so I had to double check and ensure that everything was right with this adjacency.
So he's like
map
literally
before I coded
recoding
it in.
FNAF?
I also had to make some small simplifications for some factors that are just far too specific to control. The first of which being this aggressive question mark flag. And no, that isn't me making a spelling error with the word aggressive like I have many times before. In the code, this aggressive is actually different from the aggressive cheat. It's confusing, I know, but Scott decided to make them different spelling to differentiate them. I don't know why. Essentially, this is a variable that can only be 0 or 1, and it's triggered by a whole host of things. Too many to list out right now if I'm being honest.
Try it out. I don't know how. I took 1 semester of programming and then I was like, damn, bro, I hate this. I got a D on my final and passed with a D. It was the worst grade I ever got.
What's important for us is that at 12 AM it's always set to 0, and from 1 AM to the end of the night it'll always be 1. The only other simplification that I made has to do with the time from when Springtrap gets into our office to when he actually jump scares you. This is super dependent on the player's inputs, since Springtrap tends to wait until you pull up the cameras to start his jump scare, and if you don't, he waits until the ventilation goes out. So I just simplified this to 5 seconds after Springtrap enters your office, your run is over. I was about to compile and run my code to see the results, but
I just never was somebody that just like remembered shit. Like coding is just like, you just remember that this does this and this does that, and you just like remember a shit ton of things, and I hated it. Like whenever I had to like remember things, I always did it in like a fun way. Like I'd get like a vocabulary book, and then like I would get like a word, you know, that I'd have to like remember the definition for, and then I'd be like, you know, Boop does his hoop, which means he's mad that he didn't hoop correctly. So basically, Bahoopy means that he's mad. And like I would just create like whack logic, and that's like how I'd remember things in school. But like coding, you like couldn't do that.
As I was sharing my thoughts on a vanilla FNAF server, vanilla player Diag Termal brought up Phantom Freddy. Out of all of the Phantom animatronics, Phantom Freddy is the only one that matters to us when doing an AFK strategy, as all of the other Phantom animatronics require us to use the cameras in some way in order to activate. Phantom Freddy instead has an AI in 12 chance to spawn every hour, with a forced spawn at 4 AM if he hasn't already. Normally, Phantom Freddy functions as an idle check, as he'll duck down then jump scare you if you don't pull up the cameras or maintenance panel shortly after he spawns. It's important to track Phantom Freddy in our simulation, as Phantom animatronic jump scares directly influence Springtrap's position, causing him to teleport. If Springtrap is in the top half of the map, a Phantom jump scare will result in him teleporting to either cameras 4, 5, or 10, with an equal chance to go to any of these cameras. If he's in camera 5, it'll teleport him to camera 2, and if he's in camera 2, it'll teleport him to the window. From here, a Phantom jump scare will simply advance Springtrap's attack stage. So I coded in Phantom Freddy's RNG and Springtrap's teleportation. Then I was ready to begin testing. I ran the simulation across 100 million nights, and found that out of 100 million simulated AFK...
I never realized like how... that the paper pals were just like always here in like all of the FNAFs besides FNAF 1. I never noticed them.
runs, only 144 resulted in a win, which comes out to an overall win rate of about 1 in 700,000. Honestly,
so nuts.
Not great at all. Now I was at a crossroads. I was faced with something that was
Do I do
extremely
it?
unlikely and would probably be a massive waste of time, but man, wouldn't it be really cool if I managed to pull it off? Think about it. We have control over time here. At most, each FNAF 3 game is going to take about 2 seconds. If I could find some way to run a bunch of FNAF 3 instances at once, constantly, and I got a high enough attempt frequency, maybe this could work.
Oh my god, bro is doing like the most like insufferable shiny hunt of his entire life, and he's like, this sounds cool.
When I was going over the rules
You know,
for
this
this
sounds
challenge,
kinda
I mentioned that
epic,
we won't be allowed to
actually.
use any external programs to help us while playing at high speeds. But that doesn't mean we can't use any external programs to help us start the game extremely fast, then do nothing at all once we've entered the night. After all, the program isn't helping us play the game, just starting it. Knowing this, I realized that I could automate the process of grinding for this 1 in 710,000, and in order to do that, I had to construct the system. I wasn't going to waste any time that I could be spending on other challenges or other games by just watching FNAF 3 loop on my main computer. So I took a spare older computer that I had, hooked up some cheap monitors, and got to work. I now needed to figure out how to have this machine
my
constantly running
God.
24/7 in order to ensure that we get as many FNAF 3
Bro,
attempts
this
per
is
day
just so
as possible.
stupid.
There were 2 ways of going about this. I could either design a separate program that automatically
Just say it's infinite. Just say we're good. We can move on to the next game, honestly. It's all good, man. I get it. I believe the math.
restarts a night upon death, or just add a condition to restart the night after dying within the game. For some reason, the second option didn't cross my mind until I had already spent 3 full hours coding a Python program to auto-detect the nightmare button on the screen, but adding in a restart was still far more reliable. I had already done this for the previous 2 games
This is just it's just coding class. We're just back to coding class, man.
to avoid all of the menuing between runs. With how fast we were playing, the menuing would oftentimes take longer than the actual run, so I didn't see any problem with it here. It just goes to show that you should always consider all the possible solutions for a problem before you dive headfirst into the first one that comes to mind.
Bro won't make bro will not make the next neuro until his girlfriend leaves him. So that's step 1.
Now I just needed to open as many FNAF 3 windows as possible, and an equal amount of cheat engine windows to ensure that every single FNAF 3 window was sped up to the highest degree. Now, once I started playing around with the speeds of FNAF 3, I noticed that the whole infinite speed thing might not exactly be true. I first noticed that any speed beyond 405 times
Chips, if you make the next Neuro, or if any of you guys do, just make sure you program her to like love me and talk about me all the time. Cool? Okay, cool.
Times resulted in a win the moment the night began. I'm not exactly sure why this happens, since I'm not an expert on the inner workings of Cheat Engine, but I think whatever keeps time within FNAF 3 reaches 6 AM before anything else in the game can even load in, resulting in an instant win every time. This wasn't the first time that I'd noticed some odd behavior from speed hacks and Cheat Engine. In FNAF 1, the power seemed suspiciously less strict at higher speeds. I was even able to leave the left door closed for the last bit of my 420 run and didn't even make it to stage 2 on the power out. Maybe that was just due to my inexperience at green running FNAF 1, since I wasn't really familiar with how much power you can save with the optimized strategies that I was using, but it's definitely possible that the Cheat Engine speed hack was somehow messing with some of the checks in these games. This means that technically all of the games are possible at an infinite speed, except for FNAF 2 for some reason. I guess Withered Foxy is immune to our time speed up powers. I don't know, man, this is getting more and more confusing. Regardless, even though we see the win screen, that's still kinda lame because this is clearly unintended behavior. So instead, I just tried to find the highest possible speed multiplier that still caused the game to function as intended. From 405 times speed, I went down to 100 times speed, but that seemed to cause some weird behavior with the window animations and Phantom Freddy. Not really sure what's going on here, but it seems like Phantom Freddy isn't able to recognize that we're idle when the game is at this speed, so he never jump scares us. I kept going down to lower and lower speed multipliers to try and find the fastest possible speed where everyone still worked as intended, and eventually I landed on 25 times.
Bro, he clickbaited for the times 100 on the thumbnail!
Phantom Freddy seemed to always jump scare us if he spawned at this speed, and Springtrap
He tried 100. He tried 100. It's all good. We're good.
had no issues getting to our office as well. So I set up the system with 15 instances of FNAF 3 and let it run. Because I had FNAF 3 set up to always restart the current frame after death, I knew that if I happened to walk by the system and one of the FNAF 3 windows made it to the menu, then we got a successful win. For extra insurance, I also edited my save file to only have 3 stars on the main menu,
C4,
as you
yeah.
get the 4th star from beating Aggressive Nightmare. So if we saw a completed menu at any point, it'll be easy to find the winning run in the massive recording. I went upstairs to clean the house for a bit and came back down after about an hour, and to my surprise, a few of the games had already gotten winning runs.
What?
This seemed impossible, so I thought that maybe 25 times speed was still messing with some of the RNG elements within the game. So I went all the way down to—
Bro, it just doesn't even matter anymore. You should just set it to 100. The game fucking glitched. Who cares? Whatever. We're good. Just you shouldn't even told anyone. Like, just whatever. This is about like flexing your coding. It's not even about the win anymore, is it? Really? I don't know. We're good. Let's just move on to game 4.
10 times speed, left for another hour, and again, there were still a few games with wins. It seemed that even if I decreased the speed, the win rate was still unreasonably high, so I decided to do another experiment, running only one instance on the system for a full 24 hours, and when I came back, it hadn't gotten a win. So perhaps part of the odd behavior was from Cheat Engine, but I think having 15 total games along with 15 Cheat Engine windows running on your computer at the same time was going to cause things to lag a bit, and I think that lag was what was leading to a higher win rate.
Oh god, he's
fix
going back
this,
to the
I kept
chastity of
closing
just
windows
one.
until I found the highest amount of windows that I could run at the same time without my computer lagging at all, settling on 6. Now I just had to let the system run and see what would happen, and after about 30 hours, we had ourselves a full AFK win of Aggressive Nightmare mode, proving
Yay!
that FNAF 3 can in fact be beaten at an infinite speed. Now, is this perfect proof? Honestly, I'm not sure. This seems very system dependent with how Cheat Engine and system lag can cause unintended behavior.
Bro, it's still like, I don't know. We should just accepted any of the other ones then.
And 30 hours was definitely faster than I expected for having
Bro's just like, well, I had to wait longer this time, so I guess it's more legit.
only 6 instances. Though I think regardless, it's safe to assume that FNAF 3 is possible at an infinite speed. Even though we weren't able to get a true test without the jank of high speeds on Cheat Engine, by running some quick numbers, I think it's more than reasonable. Considering that the C++ simulation gave this night roughly a 1 in 700,000 win rate, and that the system is capable of running 15 instances of FNAF 3 at once, 24/7, we can get an estimated time of how long this would realistically take, assuming we didn't have any unintended behavior. On average, a sped up FNAF 3 night is about 5 seconds long, which means per FNAF 3 window, we'd be getting approximately 17,280 runs per window per day. Multiplying that by 15, and that's 259,000 attempts per day in total.
Oh,
this
God.
means that just after 1 day of running the system, the chance of us encountering a winning run would be about 30%. 1 more day and we're up to 52%. 3 days, 66%. By a week, we'd have over a 92% chance of getting a winning run. So even if Cheat Engine had a perfect speed up that didn't affect the game at all outside of the speed, I think it would still be reasonable to come to the conclusion that FNAF 3 can be beaten with an infinite speed multiplier. And don't worry, I'm sure the system will return for a future video. I'm not done with insane FNAF 3 RNG just yet. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of this video. I know I haven't done a 2-parter since the Worst Luck series, but this video was in a bit of a weird spot with these first 3 games. And I think all of the
Bro,
jank
I'm telling
that we
you, just
encountered in
axe
this
number
video
3
was more than enough for a full video. Within the next 1 to 3 videos, I'll have part 2 up covering the next 4 FNAF games, so I hope to see you guys there. Sorry that it took so long to get this video out. I've been trying to balance this video with a different challenge that's much more on the fan game max mode side of the channel, similar to the Hopeless Pursuit,
So that hasn't even came out yet.
max mode, and triple pixel pointer videos. And trust me, that one is gonna be a banger. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel, the second channel, and the VODs channel. And also, take a look at this absolutely beautiful fan art from Vipiridae and Patilver.
It's
You
pretty
guys
cool.
are insanely talented.
First one is pretty awesome.
I don't know what else to say. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Thanks again. Peace.
Alright, well shit, I guess we're keeping an eye out for part 2 then. I'm just thinking about like the other games, right? The other ones are probably going to be pretty dang fun, actually. Where's the chart that shows all of them? I don't feel like doing the brain math. So yeah, FNAF 4, sister location. How is sister location going to go? Oh my god, dude. Some of that has like insane reactions. Like thinking about doing like the dial of like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of freaking, what's the girl's name? Whispering that into your head? I forget. That sounds like impossible, even once you get to like ×2 speed. Yeah, that's rough. Ultimate Custom Night sounds potentially okay, just because he knows like so many freaking like glitches and like ways to like do the game easily, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, dude, we are like, I did not expect to spend that long on both videos, but here we are. We are like absolutely maxed out on time. This is like 110% as close as we can really go for stream length. Let me see if I can hit someone with a raid real quick before I go though, because I would like to do that before I go. Let me No, because I talked crap, I'll raid Barry real quick. But yeah, thanks for coming by today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We got our sub raid message. We got that somewhere. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry for the quick closeout, guys. And sorry to anyone that was expecting some getting over it. Don't worry. I promise, like I said, I will make time for getting over it on Wednesday. Like I said, we'll just do some VTuber reacts and like highlight reacts and stuff like that for different VTubers. Expect some Fuamoko, expect some Neuro, expect some Hololive in general, etc., etc. Again, you did see like a Pippa in there too, so potentially Pippa. Maybe Shondo, I don't know, we'll see. I've never reacted to anything based on her. She seems like extra sus, so I've always been scared to react to anything that she does. But maybe for the first time ever, I'll give it a try. We'll see. But yeah, we'll react to some of that, and then we'll play Getting Over It, see if we can beat it. Wednesday should be fun. Should be good. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Was super fun. Feel free to join the Discord server if you have not already. I would recommend it. And yeah, other than that, you know, I'll see you on YouTube, see you on Twitch, see you on Discord, see you on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you know, all the good stuff. Yeah, expect more videos to come out, expect more shorts, you know it, gonna be working on it, getting that live 3D commission set up along with the body pillow. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Much love. Take care. Have a great rest of your days. Bye.